A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica. At the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, we are driven by service excellence. Visit mof.gov.jm for more info. The time by the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service is
9:07.
Nationwide now presents a rebroadcast of the Consumer Hour with Nora Gay Banton. You're inside the Consumer Hour with Nora Gay Banton.
Good morning to you. It is Monday again. I feel like it's just moving so quickly, and soon we'll be saying Happy New Year, Happy 2025, and then Happy 2026, and it's just gonna be going so quickly. But we're here, we're alive, and we're well, and we give God thanks. I like when it moves fast though. That means the quicker we go to the holiday. But then that means the quicker the holiday will go as well. Unfortunately. However, we are here. Good morning to you. If you're listening on the 90 FM band, 90.3, 90.5, 90.7, and 90.9, thank you so much for joining us on your radio. Thank you for listening on the 90 FM band. We do appreciate you, all our radio listeners. If you're listening and watching on YouTube, good morning to you. The channel that we're on this morning is Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. Nationwide 90 FM Live, Live, and the number 2. And if you're having difficulty finding that channel, you can go to our other channel, Nationwide 90 FM Live. When you go to the home page of that channel, you will see two other channels listed there. You will see Nationwide TV and Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. We are on Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. You can just click that channel from that page, and then it will lead you right to where we are live this morning. So good morning to all those who've already found us. I'm seeing SH in the YouTube chat. Good morning to you. Prosect, good morning to you as well. Errol Townsend, big up yourself, Errol, every time. Donna Johnson, good morning to you. Jean Sellers, good morning to you. Orville Virtue, good morning. Let me see who else. Ines Murray, good morning to you. Rider 40 is there as well. Good morning. Merlin Russell, Iso Mario. Let me see. Shernet Thomas, Michelle Martin, Stacy. Good morning to all of you this morning over there on YouTube. If you're listening from our mobile app, which is available for free on the Google Play and the Apple App Store, good morning to you, and those on our website, the Listen Now option there, good morning to you as well. Thank you so much for making it Nationwide 90 FM this morning. And we are on TikTok. Well, I'm on TikTok, not me. So if you want to join me over there on TikTok, it's NoraGB, NoraGeeBee. All right, so this morning, it's a Monday morning. That means it's Immigration Mondays. All right. And I am seeing Monica Stone in the chat asking me why I skipped over her name. I didn't skip over your name, Monica. I am so sorry. Good morning to you, Monica Stone. I hope you are having a wonderful day today, this Monday morning, Monday, December 9, 2024. All right. So inside Immigration Mondays, we are usually joined by U.S. Immigration Attorney Opal Lee, and she is on the online platform Zoom, I think, with us. So good morning to you, Opal. Are you there?
Laura, good morning, Nadine. Good morning to our wonderful and loyal listeners and viewers. Happy Monday.
And Opal is alone on Zoom this morning because because Nadine is in studio with me. Good morning to you, Nadine.
Good morning, Miss Nora. Good morning, Miss Lee. We're missing you.
I know, right?
Why aren't you here?
Like, please join the party.
And of course, good morning to our wonderful listeners and viewers.
All right. So if you're new here, inside Immigration Mondays, we try to address all things immigration related for the United States and for Canada. And before we jump into your calls and take your questions, we get an update on immigration related matters from both ladies. So I'll start with you, Nadine, who is in studio with me right here, seeing her in the flesh. And then we'll go to Opal, who is unfortunately online. So, Nadine.
Thank you, Nora. Maybe Opal will surprise you and be here next week, right?
You know, I mean, she was here last Christmas, so let's see how it goes.
Okay, Nora. So this week I actually want to talk about a happy category. You know, kind of tired of all the bad news.
Right, from Canada.
Yes, we don't want to go there this week.
All right, so
it's
good
Christmas.
News. Yes.
It's Christmas. So
great news for Christmas. Good.
Exactly. So I want to remind all of our parents that have children, dependent children, that is. And under Canadian immigration rules, Nora, a dependent child is defined as a child who is 22 years of age or under, unless, of course, that child has a mental or physical condition. That means that, of course, they need their parent to take care of them.
Right.
Okay? So a dependent child, 22 years of age or under, unless the child has a mental or physical condition. Now, you can sponsor your dependent child or children whether you are a permanent resident or you're a Canadian citizen. And one of the great things about a child sponsorship, as well as a spousal sponsorship, is that you do not need to show minimum income requirements. Okay, so once you're not on social assistance for reasons other than disability, you can sponsor your dependent children and or your spouse.
Okay. And you don't need to show a big walk in the bank?
No.
All right, so nice news there.
Yes, so all our listeners, please get those application in, because as you know, there have been a lot of changes to immigration rules this year. And that's the only category, Nora, that they haven't touched.
Oh, Lord, let's not jinx.
So, yes, let's get your applications in before they start making changes to these categories.
And how long does this usually take?
Normally about a year. If it's a straightforward application, roughly about a year or so.
Not too bad at all. Not too bad.
Right.
All right, and we jump over to you, Opal, with an update on immigration-related matters in the United States.
Okay, thank you, Nora. I'm almost thinking that you should just pass me this week since, Nadine came with good news. Maybe I shouldn't bother, perturb our listeners or anything. But there's no bad news per se. There's no update. But I've been getting a lot of questions about people wanting to know what can they anticipate next month. So I thought it would be prudent just to highlight a few things that we anticipate as immigration practitioners may happen. One, we're thinking that maybe they're going to be like a reduction in interview waivers. Right now in the United States for immigrant visas, when you're applying to adjust your status, let's say you're married to, it's your spouse that's filing for you. Usually if you have a lot of evidence to show that the marriage is bona fide, joint properties, tax returns, bank statements, etc., the USCIS tend to waive those interview process and just, give you the green card. We anticipate that we might see a lot of, and so they would waive it. We anticipate that coming next month or in the upcoming year, we're going to see a reduction in that. They're going to, I don't think they're going to do a lot of waivers. Another thing is that I think there are going to be more fraud investigations. There's going to be longer processing times. they're going to use their discretion a lot less. For example, sometimes they could use their discretion if you have a minor technical, criminal matter. The USCIS tend to use their discretion and just waive that. They may not want to do that now, but more importantly, I see that even for minor technicalities, we might see a lot more denials. For example, if you remember in the last presidency, well, before this one, we had where if you did not dot your I's or cross your T's, we saw a lot of applications were being denied, such as, let's say they asked for something on the I-45 and you left it blank because you thought it was not applicable. We saw that a lot of those were being denied because people were not putting NA, not applicable. They wanted to make sure every single line that form was completed, whether or not it applied to you or not. So we have to make sure that from going forward, you put a lot of dot your I's and cross your T. And one thing, yes, we do have a minor update. In your I-45, when you're applying to adjust your status, usually you don't have to submit your medical report along with your adjustment, because most people know that later on the USCIS will give you an opportunity to supplement your file and go ahead and submit your medical. Usually they do that when they're almost finished processing your application and ready for an interview or ready to approve your application. Now it's mandatory, guys. You now have to submit your sealed medical report along with your adjustment application. And not only that, they want to see your vaccination record has to be produced or included in that package. And not only that, your immunization record also has to be sent in with that adjustment application. So those are changes, because before you could have you didn't even need to submit your immunization record. You didn't need to submit your vaccination record. You just needed to do the medical, and you did not have to do the medical, submit it with it. Now, all those. So that's definitely a change.
All right. So I'm sure by now, those who are in the United States, those outside of the United States intending to go to the US, they would be anticipating some of these stricter immigration laws. We hear the phrase mass deportation being thrown around, especially as it relates to the United States. There is expectation of that based on the president-elect. But all I can say is, if you're not yet in the United States, you intend to go to the United States, please go legally. That's all I can say to you. Because if you don't, you might just end up in some place somewhere you don't wanna, and then it's gonna be very difficult for you. So just do it the right way. If you can't go legally right now, stay where you are. Alright, so thank you, ladies, for the update. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, we will take your calls. If you have any immigration related questions for the United States or for Canada, you can give us a call, or you can leave your questions in the YouTube chat. Just to remind you of the numbers, 876-630-9371, and that goes up to 4, and 618-8255.
KFC festive feast for the holidays. Full of power with my friends and my family. KFC bucket of the flavor. Something for everybody, time for we celebrate. 12 piece of chicken so delicious. Fries, biscuits, coleslaw, mashed potatoes, and the Pepsi. Crunch the holiday with KFC. It's the festive feast for you and
Crunch the holidays with the KFC Festive Feast. 12 pieces of delicious chicken, sides, and a 2-liter Pepsi. Try our new KFC dessert biscuits. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Outperform, outlast. With top performance. Jackama. Reliable, full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electrician. Pan select tools, 3 parts and 3 repairs. 3 parts, 3 repairs. 2 to 3 years. Hilton, available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-6111-4. Delta Supply, we service what we sell.
Since 1995, we've been your go-to source for everything related to billiards, amusement machines, and electronics. With locations at 1A Lindsay Terrace, Kingston 10, and the Village Plaza, Big Bridge, Savannah, Lamar, we offer top-quality pool table parts and accessories, cutting-edge gaming machines, and more. We also specialize in assembly, sales, and service of amusement machines. We provide unmatched customer service, expert solutions, and products tailored to your needs. Who are we? We are Eclipse Enterprise. Telephone 876-960-3891.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the Consumer Hour with Nora Gay Banton.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide at 90 FM. I'm Nora Gay Banton. We are joined by U.S. Immigration Attorney Opal Lee and Canadian Immigration Consultant Nadine Mahabir. And we are at the point in the program this Monday morning where we're taking your calls. The numbers to call if you have any immigration related matters and you want to ask a question, you can call 876-630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, or you can try our Digicel line at 618-8255. And remember, if you are unable to call, you can ask your question or leave a comment in the YouTube chat. Interesting comment there from Monica Stone, Nadine. I don't know.
No, Monica, no.
Monica Stone seems to have a theory as to why Nadine is still in Jamaica, but Nadine is neither confirming nor denying, so we'll leave it at that. But there are some questions actually further down in the YouTube chat. One person is asking Opal, what is the cost to do biometrics for a change of status application via marriage?
No, it's not. It's included. So it depends on for the I-45. I know it's like they do it as a package. So if you're doing the work permit and the green card, it's about $2,335 or something like that. I'll double check, and that's also for the I-485.
Okay.
Because you don't just do biometrics. There has to be an underlying application. So the person really needs to be knowing what they're doing. So with the I-45 and the work permit, and then of course the biometrics.
Okay. And someone else is asking, where are they now regarding legal permanent residents who petitioned for their spouses residing outside of the U.S.?
All right. So for right now, they're actually at, give me 1 second. They're at about, give me 1 second and I'll answer that question.
All right, no problem. Just to remind you once again of the phone lines, if you have any immigration related questions, the numbers to call 876-630-9371, and that goes up to 4, so 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, and 630-9374. There's also 618-8255.
They're at January 2022.
Okay. All right. So Noel, January 2022 is where they are right now. We have a caller on the line, Marlene. Good morning.
Good morning. I am calling to ask about your visa being revoked. When it is revoked I overstayed and it was revoked. How do I go ahead trying to get for reinstatement or reapply, or how is that done?
Okay, good morning, caller. Sorry to hear that happened. But that's a big issue when you have overstayed, because that means you have betrayed the US's trust. They gave you that visa to be able to go there to visit your family members, friends, do some shopping, vacation, and go back, and you betrayed them by overstaying the time, the allotted time to you. So what you will have to do, yes, you will need to go ahead and reapply. So you'll have to complete a DS-160, pay the applicable fee, but prepare yourself. I'm sorry?
I didn't hear what you said. I'm supposed to complete a
DS-160, it's the same form that you had filled out when you were filing.
Okay.
Yeah, the same form. And so but be prepared to address why it was that you overstayed. Remember, you're at their mercy now, right? You already messed up. So you're going to have to explain if it was reasons beyond your control that you failed the last time, why, and impress upon them why they should give you this chance and why it is that you're not going to make this happen again. And so you're going to want to show all your strong ties to your home country, Jamaica.
Okay. I tried talking to travel agents and they're telling me that I have to wait till 5 years to reapply.
Okay, first of all, travel agents are not a...
This is breaking news from Nationwide Radio.
It's now 9:27 a.m. on this Monday, December 30, 2024. An item of breaking news: 4 units from the Jamaica Fire Brigade are currently responding to a fire at the Constant Spring Arcade in St. Andrew. Fire Chief Stuart Beckford says the cause or extent of the blaze have not yet been determined. Again, 4 units from the Jamaica Fire Brigade are currently responding to a fire at the Constant Spring Arcade in St. Andrew. Fire Chief Stuart Beckford says the cause or extent of the blaze have not yet been determined. We'll have more on this in subsequent newscasts.
The management and the staff of the Jamaica Customs Agency extend the very best wishes to you and your family for a safe, peaceful, and enjoyable holiday. Whether you're effecting clearance at the port, traveling to and from the airport, or undertaking other transactions, we urge you to travel safely, use good judgment, and stay within the speed limit. We thank you for your support throughout 2024 and look forward to a healthy, prosperous, and productive new year. Happy New Year from Jamaica Customs.
Total Tools is having a Black Friday sale weekend! Sale, sale, sale! Up to 50% off select items, major discounts on tools, accessories, lighting, and electrical supplies. All Black Friday weekend long, Thursday, November 28 to Saturday, November 30. Move fast, only while stocks last. Visit Total Tools Kingston, Ocho Rios, or Drax Hall. Total Tools, we've got you totally covered.
Are you ready for it?
Revo. Coming soon.
Spectrum Insurance Brokers provides quality insurance coverage and risk management services. The time by Spectrum Insurance Brokers Limited, setting the industry standards, is
9:30.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the Consumer Hour with Nora Gay Banton.
Good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Nora Gay Banton. It's Immigration Mondays, and we're joined, as usual, by U.S. Immigration Attorney Opal Lee and Canadian Immigration Consultant Nadine Mahaber. And as I promised before the break, I'm going to allow both ladies to give their contact information, starting with you, Nadine, and then Opal, for those persons who may just want to book their consultation.
Thanks, Nora. For Nadine Mahaber, our contact number in Jamaica, it is 876-754-4391. That's 876-754-4391. In Canada, it is 1-416-249-5885. That's 1-416-249-5885. Our email address is info@cdnintl.com. Over to you, Miss Lee.
Thank you so much, Nadine. For Opal Lee, the phone number in Jamaica is 876-854-3599. That is 876-854-3599. In the United States, it's 954-358-2020. That's 954-358-2020. Or you may go to our website, www.flojanlegal.com. With you, Nora.
All right. So we have a call on the line. Shanika, good morning.
So my question is for Opali.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, can a parent file for their adult child who is currently in the United States on a J1 visa, and would it mess up their chances of continuing the J1 visa?
Okay, good morning, caller. So if the child is, if it's an adult child, it's going to take about 9 years. If the child is the person single or married?
Single.
Single?
Yes.
Is that what they said?
Yes,
Nora?
single.
Okay, so it takes about 9 years for an immigrant visa to become available. And so that person can continue on their J1 or whatever visa they're on, but they won't be able to adjust until a visa number becomes available. And at the time that a visa number becomes available, they won't be able to adjust in the United States unless they are in good standing. So they can't have overstayed their J1 or any visa that they have. They more likely than not would need to return to their home country after the completion of their lawful stay in the United States. So for now, though, they're fine. They could have the J1 going on while their application or their parents' application is running in the background. But it's going to be a while before a visa number becomes available.
Okay, so they can go ahead and start the filing process when it won't affect the J1.
Hello? I'm not hearing you clearly.
Mean that the parent can go ahead and start the process and it will not negatively affect the J1 program?
Right, it won't. You can have that because all they're doing is filing the standalone I-130 that will just run in the background.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So we have some more questions in the YouTube chat. Let me see here. This one is for you, Opal. It says, Mom filed for my brother and she has not worked for 10 years. Does she have to fill out the affidavit of support for the U.S.?
Absolutely. The petitioner always, even that petitioner's income is zero, you always have to have the petitioner complete an affidavit of support, which is the I-864. However, you will also need a joint sponsor to do the same. But the petitioner always, I just did a consultation with someone last week and they never completed the affidavit of support because they were saying the same thing, that they thought the petitioner did not have sufficient income, so why do that? And their application was denied.
All right, so no matter what, even though mommy hasn't worked for 10 years, she should still go ahead and do it. Good of you for seeking advice before she went ahead. All right, here's another one for you, Opal. It says, is it the same in the US like in Canada where a child is considered a dependent irrespective of the age if they are disabled?
No, not for filing purposes. Doesn't work that way. Child is cut off at 21 years old. The child is an adult from 21 years old and over.
Wow. That's, wow.
So even if the child has a mental or physical condition, Opal, and they're dependent on... Wow.
All right. So, wow. Okay. Well, I guess that answers the question. Aldane, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Nora.
Good morning.
Hey, man. Opal.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, man. Me and my family, we all have visitors visas, and we applied because my wife got accepted to a school in Florida for nursing, and we went to the embassy and we got denied the I think it's F2 or F1 visa. I think that's the reason why we were denied. So how soon after denial can we reapply?
You can, as we have stated before, you can reapply the very next day from any visa denial, but that's not the key. The problem is you need to see what was the underlying issue, why it was denied in the first place. So until you do a consultation, for example, if you wish to do one with us, then I could look to see maybe if the mistake was something that could be easily fixed, and so you will have a better chance in reapplying, or if it's something that's a little bit more in-depth. But you can apply the very next day. But a lot of people, what the U.S. Embassy normally say, do not even waste your time and apply unless you can show that your circumstances have changed.
Okay, suppose the circumstances circumstances was a piece of information that was left out, and you know that that's a piece of information, that would be considered
Exactly.
as your circumstance has changed.
Correct. So, no, well, but that's what I'm saying. That's a little bit different now. So if you're thinking that you should have been approved, but you just forget something, and you don't have to tell me on the radio what that little piece of thing that you left out, you can go and reapply and then put in the comment section that, you now have this information that you believe was the reason why your application was denied. But I'm saying you can always apply next week. The next day, next month.
I just want to know, because I don't want to reapply and then they say I reapply too quick.
Yeah, there's nothing that's too quick. Right, there's nothing that's too quick. But the child, as I stated before, you see, I don't know what it is. I know we're talking in codes here, but I really don't know what the underlying reason. I know you say you leave out a little thing. I don't know what that little thing is, and I don't really want you to tell me, because then we don't want, the U.S. Embassy, they love listening nationwide, and they might go say, oh, so that's the file. I don't know. Just say it.
But all right, Aline, all the best to you. Yeah, man.
But listen, just try your luck. I mean, the thing is that, as I stated before, I cannot guarantee that you're not going to lose the money. I can't guarantee that you're going to pay it and your application is not going to be approved. But I mean, if this is and I know this is very important to you, come on, it's just $100. Go ahead and try again.
A little, Opal, please.
I'm saying the application was for a school. Hello?
I'm sorry?
I'm saying the application was for a school that she was accepted.
Exactly. That's I would try again. Honestly, I would try again.
Pay the school fee and everything. The school year starts in January, right? And then
that's what I'm saying. I would definitely try again, sir. I would.
Okay.
And whatever little piece of thing that you say you left out, make sure you put it in there and put in the application that you believe that was the reason. But just make sure that you know that this was the reason, because I'm wondering if there was an underlying reason, but other than what you're thinking, that little thing that you left off.
No, I think I know that is the reason, because the person asked for it and they could not present it at the time. So
okay, all right. Well, then in that case, reapply and present it this time.
All right, thanks.
All
You're
right,
welcome.
Arlene, all the best. Here's an interesting one on YouTube before we go to the next caller. Opal, if someone gets back together with their ex and wants to take him or her up on a fiancé visa, how much months of proof one would have to show that the relationship is legitimate? They separated for 41 years and they are back together just 2 months ago, asking for a friend.
You see, Nora, we have to be careful about these exes, and that's an old fire stick, easy to
catch.
But okay, so for the fiancé visa, what you have to show is that you guys have linked up within the last 2 years. So there's no, it could just be a week ago, it could be 2 weeks ago, it could be 3 weeks ago. So there's nothing. It's nothing like you have to have a certain time that you guys have been communicating. And so congratulations on them rekindling after 41 years. Things do happen, and love is in the air. Christmas time tends to do that to people.
That is true.
With all the festivities.
It's the cool
but
breeze.
that person can. Right, but if they have not been together for like the last 41 years and they've only been communicating, or the last communications have only been via telephone or so, they have to meet in person. That's the key. You have to have met in person, did something together in person for within the last 2 years.
Wow. All right. Well, for the person asking for their friend, I hope they have enough because she said they just got back together 2 months ago. So I hope
they have to link up then. If they just got back together, they have to meet up physically.
Okay. All right. We have a caller on the line. Andrew, good morning.
Hi, morning.
Good morning, Andrew.
I have a question for Nadine, is it?
Yes, Canada?
Yes, Canada, and possibly one for you. So we recently applied for visitor's visa, Canada, myself, my wife, and 2 piglets.
Two what?
We didn't get through, and I'm thinking possibly, we did something wrong. We have businesses here, 2 businesses. We were very positive about the application, and then it just got denied. What do you think? We thought about going through a consultant, but then we said, well, just, we're not sure. Any advice you'd give to us if we were to apply again?
Hi, good morning. Did you submit your business registration, bank statements, property documents, and so on?
Yes. Yeah, we did. We did.
Okay, I'm going to say we probably...
Well, to be quite frank, they didn't ask us, because I think my wife did the application. They asked us for those, I think, for my wife, but not for me, or something like, I don't know. I don't know what really happened, but they just denied us.
Okay, so I would need to see maybe a copy of the documents you submitted, and then I would be able to advise you as to probably where you guys went wrong with the application. So if you'd like to have a consultation done, I can definitely take a look at what you did or what your wife did, and then you can decide if you'd like to resubmit it on your own or if you need assistance with the process.
Okay. So I'll get your number.
Yes.
Do you have a website or something that I could look up, or because I'm driving now, I can't stop to take the number.
No problem. Our website is cdnintl.com for canadianinternational.com.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Okay.
And for Opal, my wife had a visa revoked couple years ago. I think it was her first time in the U.S. I'm not sure what transpired then. And she was sent back, so now she's planning on reapplying. Any advice? I think they believe that she was going to work, but that's actually what she said, that they misinterpreted the answer she gave to her question.
Right, so she just needs to reapply, but be prepared to address that issue and satisfy the consulate as to whether or not, if she did work before, hopefully she didn't. So she needs to address that issue. My strong advice would be to do a consultation so we could look at that.
Consultation. Okay.
If you want, but if not, she just have to prove that or address that issue to satisfy them, to show that she was not working. But I don't know what evidence she has. That's what I'm saying. You have to do a consultation. Did they look through her phone and see like she was wearing a uniform?
I think that's what they did. But yeah, that's what they did.
So I don't know what evidence they have. So if she was in fact intending to work, she would just have to beg them their forgiveness and ask them to consider her for a waiver.
Okay. All right then. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We are going to take a commercial break now. When we come back, we will be on the final leg of Immigration Mondays. We'll continue taking your calls and your questions from the YouTube chat.
Ridge is having a Christmas sale. From December 8 to December 31, save on chandeliers, wall lamps, ceiling fans, and LED bulbs. Come shop and save with up to 40% off this Christmas. Visit us in Kingston, Mandeville, Montego Bay, and Draxall. It's the Ridge Christmas sale, December 8 to December 31. Open Sundays.
Fill all your prescriptions, get cosmetics and other pharmaceutical items at Mannings Hill Pharmacy, located at 34A Mannings Hill Road, Kingston. Telephone 924-6280. At Mannings Hill Pharmacy, they stock all the hard-to-get medication. The time by Mannings Hill Pharmacy is
15 minutes going up to 10 o'clock.
Christmas prep got you stressed? Skip the baking and grab a Mother's Bakery Christmas cake. No kitchen disaster, no burnt cake, just pure Christmas bliss, like your mom used to make, minus the yelling. But seriously, one bite and the only thing you'll miss is the mess. Mother's Bakery Christmas cake, bringing love in every slice, so you can bring home the cheer without lifting a finger. But hurry, these cakes fly off the shelves. Mother's Bakery Christmas cake, it's like a holiday miracle in every bite. Importers, clear customs, not your schedule. Download the JA Customs Connect mobile app from the Google Play and Apple App Stores and enjoy the ease to calculate your customs duties, search for tariff codes, track and trace your shipments, pay your declarations, and so much more, all in a click, right at your fingertips. So save time, save money. Download the JA Customs Connect mobile app today. It's fast, safe, and convenient. For more information, visit jacustoms.gov.jm. JA Customs Connect mobile app, powered by the Jamaica Customs Agency. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
Are you ready for it?
Revo. Coming soon.
But is this real? Hey Greg, come look at this. Oh my, it's happening. Mr. Daniels, the numbers keep getting bigger and bigger.
Sir, the clicks are off the charts.
Hello, sales? What's the emergency? 9,000 clicks in one day? 3,000 order? So how much we have left? What? I soon call you back. Mr. Nakamoto, it's Danny from Jamaica. I need 5,000 of the big ones. We're back in business.
Yes, sir. Arigato. Suene.
Amplify your brand. Let Nationwide 90 FM assist you in tapping into a captivated audience across our social media platforms. For more information, contact us at 876-630-1210 or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Businesses, companies, and entrepreneurs, let's supercharge your brand.
Ho, ho, ho! It's the spirit of Christmas and the end of another year. On behalf of the Affairs of the Heart team, we want to wish all our committed special sponsors, Supermed Pharmacy, Durex Condoms, ABC Electrical Sales, and Teeth Ethics Jamaica, a very Merry Christmas. Your invaluable support has meant the world to us, and together, we look forward to making 2025 an even more beautiful journey. To our dedicated listeners and YouTubers, what could we do without you every Tuesday night? We greatly appreciate your listenership and viewership, and together, we will share the stories in 2025. To our guests, who make everything happen between 9 to 10:30 p.m., you bring the vibe and the vibrancy, and we owe you a debt of gratitude for your time and all the info you have shared. To all of you and the wider Jamaica and the world, Merry Christmas and a happy, productive, safe, and healthy 2025 from Affairs of the Heart, right here on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the Consumer Hour with Nora Gay Banton.
All right. We're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Nora Gay Banton. We have a U.S. immigration attorney, Opal Lee, online with us, and in studio with me, Canadian immigration consultant Nadine Mahaber. We have just about 5 or so minutes left in the program, so we're gonna take as much questions as we can before we have to go. One for you here on YouTube, Nadine. It's asking, what should an invitation from Canada, from a Canadian family member consist of?
Okay, so of course the person who is inviting the other person would need to state their name and address. They would need to state the person's name and address that they're inviting, the purpose of the visit, and if the person is only coming up for 2 or 3 weeks, please don't say that the person is coming up for 2 or 3 months. Right, because I've seen invitation letters, Nora, where it's like you look at it and, okay, this is one of the reasons why your application was refused. So for a short visit, you want to state the period of time, or just say, when you get your vacation, you can list some of the places that you'd like to take them to or the things that you plan to do. And of course, include your contact information. I normally recommend that you include a copy of your Canadian status documents and your job letter. You can always leave out your salary if you're not comfortable providing that information to the person you're inviting.
Okay. I'm still with you,
There's a question. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
that this can you get a permanent resident? Can you get permanent residence via a job offer? For example, if you've been working online for the company and they want to relocate you to Canada.
Okay, so if the company wants to relocate you, then they would need to do what is called an intra-company transfer if you qualify for the intra-company transfer, Nora. Okay? Otherwise, the employer would need to do what is called a labor market impact assessment, which is an LMIA. Once you have that, then yes, you can look and see, do you qualify for residency afterwards.
Okay. All right. So we have a caller on the line. This may be our final caller for the day. Natalie, good morning.
I am being filed for both myself and my kids. Over a week ago, I got something to say that I am DQ. However, I have not received anything from my girls, and I went and checked back on their application, and I noticed that the affidavit of support as well as the tax form for their application was not uploaded. However, when we tried to upload those documents to their application, it is telling us to consult with the administrator.
Okay, good morning, caller. So we would have to log into your account and try to assist you with this.
Okay. So I would have to contact you.
What you should do, if you're in the National Visa Center portal and it's not allowing you to upload something, you need to contact the National Visa Center. There is an Ask NVC where you could post your questions to them and they will assist you. They're the administrator. They could assist you with it. But if you still don't know what to do, then you're going to have to contact our office first to help you. And that's why, if you're going to see different in the portal, you will see for you, your other child, and whoever else are the beneficiaries, you have to make sure that you upload the affidavit of support for each person. If not, this is something that is definitely going to happen.
You said there's an app for NVC?
Not an app. It is on your if you log into NVC, you'll see the button that says Ask NVC. You could do it that way as well.
All right, no problem. Thanks much.
Okay.
All right.
You're welcome.
And if you wish, you can book your consultation. Keep listening, and you'll hear the contact numbers for Opal's office. More questions on YouTube. All the best to you, Natalie. This one is asking, how can my granddaughter's status be upgraded from international student to permanent resident in the United States?
You could find love. Or she could find an employer who is willing to sponsor her. So I don't know how old his granddaughter is, for example, but it depends on her age and what her qualifications are, what school she's going to. Those are the reasons, because a grandmother can't file directly for the child. The grandmother would have to file for the parent, and then the child would be a derivative from the parent. Of the parent, I should say.
All right. I think this may be the final one before we go. Opal, what documents do two divorcees need who are previously married and divorced in Jamaica? What documents do they need to remarry in the US? Love is in the air.
Nora, I notice you always smile when you hear about these rekindles.
Yes, love
and
is
all
in
that
the
stuff.
air. It's so beautiful. Love that.
All right, so what this person needs to do is to have if they were divorced in Jamaica, make sure you have the decree absolute, not the nice side. Guys, the nice side does not get you divorced in Jamaica. You need to go all the way and get the absolute, and that will prove that you guys are done, that marriage was done, or the previous marriages were done, and then of course you go ahead now and just remarry. And then when if I don't know if this has immigration related, if anybody's going to be filing for the other person, because you're going to need to submit your divorce decrees along with your immigrant petition and adjustment applications.
All right. Just before we go, ladies, is there anything else that you were seeing that you wanted to respond to before I allow you to give your contact information? No. All right.
This person had posted about how can an employer file for someone, but for employment visas, it all depends. They're going to have to maybe go through Department of Labor, show that there's not they're unable to find suitable workers in the United States, right? Hence the reason why they have to be going outside. So for that person we need to do a consultation so we could go through the details.
All right, so I'm going to allow you to give your contact information so that those who want to book a consultation can do so, starting with you, Opal, and then Nadine.
Thanks as always, Nora. So for Opal Lee, the phone number in Jamaica is 876-854-3599. That is 876-854-3599. And in the United States, it is 954-358-2020. That's 954-358-2020. Or you may connect with us on our website, www.flowjamlegal.com. Have a good week, everyone. Over to you, Nadine.
Thanks, Opal. For Nadine Mehaber, our contact number in Jamaica, it is 876-754-4391. That's 876-754-4391. In Canada, it is 1-416-249-5885. That's 1-416-249-5885. Our email address is info@cdnintl.com. Thanks, Miss Nora, and have a great week, everyone.
All right. Thank you, ladies, for joining us this Monday as usual. We're going to leave it right there for the Consumer Hour and for Immigration Mondays. See you guys next week, Monday. Yes, we do have a show. Next week, Monday, will be our last show for the year. Yes, it will be. Yes, indeed. So, see you next week, Monday. Opal will be in studio. Nadine will be here as well. We will have cake and we will have sorrel. Why is Nadine saying no as if she's leaving soon? We will have cake and sorrel and Christmas decorations, and it will be a grand final show for 2024.
We should have had that this week, Nora.
Are you leaving on Nadine?
Make sure you wear your red. Just make sure you wear your red or your green next week, Nadine. That's all.
All right.
Yes, boss. Yes, boss.
All right, we're gonna leave it there and make way now for Cliff Hughes online.
That was the Consumer Hour with Nora Gay Banton. That was a rebroadcast of the Consumer Hour with Nora Gay Banton.
But is this real? Hey Greg, come look at this. Oh my, it's happening. Mr. Daniels, the numbers keep getting bigger and bigger.
Sir, the clicks are off the charts.
Hello, sales? What's the emergency? 9,000 clicks in one day? 3,000 order? So how much we have left? What? I soon call you back. Mr. Nakamoto, it's Danny from Jamaica. I need 5,000 of the big ones. We're back in business.
Yes, sir. Arigato. Suene.
Amplify your brand. Let Nationwide 90 FM assist you in tapping into a captivated audience across our social media platforms. For more information, contact us at 876-630-1210 or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Businesses, companies, and entrepreneurs, let's supercharge your brand.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
10 o'clock.
This is a rebroadcast of Cliff Hughes Online from October 2, 2024.
Cliff Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
My hands were steady. My eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose. My steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right. Like a rock, like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock. And I stood arrow straight, unencumbered by the weight of all these hustlers and their schemes. I stood proud, I stood tall, high above it all. I still believed in my dreams.
Our phone numbers are 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and 618-8255. Or find us on Facebook at Nationwide News Network and follow us on Twitter at Cliff Nationwide. You can also listen to Cliff Hughes online live on the World Wide Web at nationwideradiojm.com or via the Nationwide 90 FM app on your mobile phone. Now, here's your host, Cliff Hughes.
Good morning. Let's get to work.
Cliff says, what's on his mind? Unfiltered analysis and commentary.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock. And I stood arrow straight, unencumbered by the weight of all these hustlers and their schemes. I stood proud, I stood tall, high above it all. I still believed in my dreams.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us here in Cliff Hughes Online. It's Nationwide 90 FM, and we have a lot to talk about today. And today we have a special guest in Cliff Hughes Online. There he is. Introduce yourself, sir.
Senator Damian Crawford, spokesperson on education for the People's National Party. Cliff Hughes, Virgin.
And he's here to talk education this morning. As he says, he's the opposition spokesperson in education, and he has been thinking about it and also putting his thoughts down on paper, and he shared them with me, and we want to have a meaningful discussion where we hear and interrogate what he is proposing. As you know, education is a major problem in Jamaica. We're just simply not doing well when it comes to the business of educating our people. You know the figures, yes? We are seeing what? Only 3.5, about 4 in every 5 of our students leaving the secondary education being able to qualify for higher tertiary education studies or to matriculate to other places of work, studies. And too many are untrained, unskilled, and we have other problems in terms of funding education. that Crawford speaks about, yes, issues to do with the nutrition, security, issues to do with socialization. Education is one of the greatest tools of socialization in any viable society. And you know the problems we are having in Jamaica where socialization is concerned. We just have too many maladaptive behaviors from our young people, and not so young, by the way. Yeah. And if we can get the education right, then I think we'll be well on our way. Wouldn't you say, Senator?
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
I think that is the solution to most of our problems.
Yes, getting the education right. And we have not been getting it right.
Far from.
Yeah. And we have done a whole lot of studies. The Jamaica Education Transformation Commission, the effort of Professor Pattison.
Yes.
Yeah. And we're making very...
Before that, Davis.
Yes, Ray Davis.
Yes.
Yeah. And we know the problems, but in terms of the solutions and getting the solutions implemented, major problems there. So we're going to talk a little bit more about those issues later today. It's 7 minutes after 10 o'clock, but yesterday, coming out of the news yesterday, the matter of the Prime Minister's statutory declarations and the Integrity Commission. Well, that standoff between the Prime Minister and the Integrity Commission took a major turn yesterday because the Prime Minister has now gone to the Supreme Court to seek judicial review of the actions, non-actions, and comments made by the Commission and two of its directors, Craig Beresford and Kevon Stevenson. The move by Holness relates to the contents of the two reports tabled in Parliament which concern his statutory declarations. And yesterday the matter surfaced in the Parliament. As reported by us in the press this morning, it's a lead story. Yeah, on the front pages this morning. In the Observer says, PM fights. Holness asked Supreme Court to review IC reports once them struck down. That's the front page of the Observer this morning. It's also the front page story in the Gleaner this morning. Court fight. Holness wants law prohibiting illicit enrichment declared unconstitutional. And in the Parliament yesterday, where the issue surfaced, yes, the Gleaner says PM censure motion blocked, but Speaker says she would have allowed it. Yes, so that's where we start this morning. Yeah, with George Davis's report on the Prime Minister going to court.
The application filed on behalf of Prime Minister Holness by his attorneys Henlin Gibson Henlin is stamped September 30, 2024, Civil Division, Supreme Court. It names Holness and three of his companies, Imperium Holdings Limited, Positive Media Solutions, and Positive Jamaica Foundation, as the three applicants. The three companies named are the same three flagged by the Integrity Commission as the subject of further investigation. The IC has declared publicly it wants the probe to be done by Tax Administration Jamaica, TAJ, and the Financial Investigations Division, FID. Beresford, Stevenson, and the Integrity Commission are the three respondents. Holness's attorneys have set down 30 points on which they are seeking judicial review. Among them, that Craig Beresford and/or the Commission failed to or refused to certify his declarations for 2021 and 22, and/or provide reasons for being unable to certify them. That Kevon Stevenson carried out an investigation into the Prime Minister's declarations for 2022 and 2023, although there was no referral for an investigation by Craig Beresford. Holness's lawyers want a judicial review into Kevon Stevenson's finding or decision that the Prime Minister's lawful objection to the request for his detailed expenses is a refusal to provide information, which then inhibited Stevenson's ability to make a comprehensive and final assessment of the Prime Minister's assets, liabilities, and income. They want a review of Stevenson's decision to, in their words, usurp the functions of the court and unlawfully pierce the corporate veil of Imperium Holdings Limited, which, according to them, is a separate legal person in law. They say Stevenson thereafter commingled the assets of the Prime Minister and that of Imperium and then ascribed to both a combined net worth of $1.9 million for 2022. Holness's lawyers also want judicial review of the decision to continue or keep the investigation open in relation to the Prime Minister's declarations for 2021, notwithstanding findings or conclusions that for the year 2021, there was negative net worth of $10.4 million. This means there was no unexplained growth in the Prime Minister's net worth, which according to the numbers, actually declined by the said $10.4 million. Holness's attorneys also want judicial review of the act or decision to recommend the referral to TAJ and FID, two of the three companies linked to Holness. Holness's lawyers want the court to rule on the failure by Kevin Stevenson and the Integrity Commission to recommend and or issue a public exoneration of culpability at the point where it ended its investigation into the Prime Minister's declarations for 2021. His lawyers complained to the court that what Stevenson and the IC then proceeded to do was improperly include details of that 2021 probe in the report dated August 30, 2024, an act which they feel robbed Holness of benefiting from being freed of guilt. The filing on Holness's behalf, which runs for 22 pages, goes deep. It sets out 69 grounds on which judicial review is being sought under the headings breach of natural justice and procedural fairness, constitutional breaches, irrationality and unreasonableness, abuse of power, abuse of discretion, illegality, and acting ultra vires. The action by Holness marks the first time the Prime Minister has publicly gone on the front foot to counteract on an issue that has seen him bleed political capital and give Jamaicans cause to question his integrity. George Davis for Nationwide News.
So that's one of three reports we have this morning, because it's quite a long document, so we want to summarize for you. There's another report surrounds the claims being made by the Prime Minister and his legal team against the Integrity Commission, Kevin Stevenson and Craig Beresford. Here's Siobhan Campbell's reports on those claims.
The law firm Henlin Gibson Henlin set down 69 grounds on which the Prime Minister moved to seek judicial review into the report of investigations into his statutory declarations. Point 50 is particularly damning. Holness's lawyers say the tabling of the report was done in bad faith to prejudice and harm him, given that the entire scheme of the Integrity Commission Act is to ensure confidentiality and secure fairness for those who are being legitimately investigated. The big question about whether or not Holness knew he was being probed for illicit enrichment is also dealt with in the 69 grounds for action. At point 42, his lawyers say he was not given the background in relation to the alleged irregularities that were being investigated and was not told the proportion or sum by which his assets were disproportionate to his income. They say he therefore could not fairly and accurately respond to matters that concern the subject matter of the investigation. Holness's lawyers then deal with what they describe as the misuse of the Prime Minister's private information. They accuse the Integrity Commission of disclosing Holness's private information in a manner that is prejudicial to his rights and bringing him into public odium. Public odium is defined as the hatred, disapproval, or dislike that the public feels for a person, usually due to something the person has done. The lawyers also raised the issue of a report from an international forensics expert who spent 6 months poring over the details of Holness's finances. They say Holness was entitled to see and respond to any adverse findings and benefit from any advantageous findings in that report. They say that Holness was not provided with a copy of the report. They accuse the Integrity Commission of broadening the scope of the investigation and setting a moving target for the Prime Minister to hit. Holness's lawyers say the investigation into his 2022 and 2023 statutory declarations was nothing more than a fishing expedition. Siobhan Campbell for Nationwide News.
All right. Thank you, Siobhan. We have one more report that speaks to what some of the asks, demands of Holness's lawyers, especially one particular section of the Corruption Prevention Act, Section 14.5. They want that to be declared unconstitutional and to be struck down. Yes, the Prime Minister is asking for that. Yes, after the break.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light, and I held firm.
The following Christmas safety tip is brought to you by the Firearm Licensing Authority. Has your licensed firearm been lost or stolen? Time is of the essence. Report the incident immediately to both the nearest police station and the Firearm Licensing Authority. Quick action can prevent your firearm from being used in illegal activities, and it also helps you to avoid penalties that could arise from the delay in reporting. Keeping the authorities informed is not only a legal obligation, but a critical safety measure. The preceding Christmas safety tip was brought to you by the Firearm Licensing Authority.
Recycling Partners of Jamaica. Yeah, we got to make a change, and we have to do it now, can't wait for later. We put plastic in its place, and we all can agree that will be safer than in the gullies and in the drains. Recycling Partners of Jamaica. We put plastic in its place. Well, I said no matter about your class or status or title, got to be responsible and recycle. Yes, we have talk about plastic buckle boat. You have to make sure say you're the right type to. So look for the triangle with the one or two. But that don't matter could a yellow or blue. You have to just make sure them empty, collect them plenty. Recycling revenue. So listen up Jamaica, I'm saying it's time to make a change. Recycling Partners of Jamaica. We put plastic in its place, and we all can agree that will be safer than in the gullies in the heavy rains. Recycling Partners of Jamaica. We put plastic in its place.
The Time brought to you by the Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport. Fueling growth everywhere is
11 minutes after 10.
This is a rebroadcast of Cliff Hughes Online from October 2, 2024.
Cliff says, what's on his mind? Unfiltered analysis and commentary.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light, and I held firm to what I felt was right.
So we are not previewing, but summarizing for you the Prime Minister's application, leave to apply for judicial review of the Integrity Commission's report about his statutory declarations. Our third report is also from George Davis, and it relates to lawyers to the Prime Minister asking the court to strike down some of the provisions of the Integrity Commission Act and a particular section of the Corruption Prevention Act in their application. Yes, here's George's report.
Holness's attorneys, Henlin Gibson Henlin, have asked the Supreme Court to make 20 orders or declarations in favor of their client in his battle against the Integrity Commission. They want the court to grant a declaration striking down provisions of the Integrity Commission Act due to the lack of fairness, impartiality, and independence in the exercise of the functions of the divisions and the commission as currently structured. They want the court to declare that Section 14, subsection 5 of the Corruption Prevention Act is unconstitutional and should be struck down as it breaches the presumption of innocence guaranteed under Section 13(3)(a) of the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms. They say this is necessary because the Corruption Prevention Act places the burden of proof on Andrew Holness in what they cite as an instance of reverse onus to prove an essential element of the offense of illicit enrichment. They want the Corruption Prevention Act struck down as unconstitutional as it breaches Holness's due process rights as guaranteed by Section 16(2) of the Charter of Fundamental rights and freedoms. Holness's lawyers are seeking this particular declaration on the grounds that the role of investigator and prosecutor at the Integrity Commission have not been decoupled. They want the court to declare that given that there was no statement or reasonable suspicion against Holness in the reports tabled in Parliament concerning his statutory declarations, and there being no reference to the Director of Corruption Prosecution, the Integrity Commission was then wrong to submit those reports to Parliament for tabling. George Davis for Nationwide News.
Thank you, George. So that was the Prime Minister's leave for permission to seek judicial review. That was submitted and signed for on the 30th of September. That was Monday. Okay? Monday. And it's now being reported by us and all over the press. Yesterday afternoon, the opposition went to the Parliament and sought a no-confidence motion. They sought to table a no-confidence motion against the Prime Minister under what the party leader, the opposition leader, Mark Golding, described as the 2002 Ministerial Code of Conduct. Yes? But he was blocked. Yes? During the sitting yesterday, they walked out after Golding's attempts to introduce a motion were blocked by the Deputy Speaker, Heroy Clark, who cited a breach of standing orders. The MPs, led by Mr. Golding, left the Parliament to stand outside Gordon House, from where they read the motion of no confidence that was blocked. Mr. Golding says the move by the Deputy Speaker to block the motion was an example of the misuse of power by the government.
If a no confidence motion is passed in Parliament, the Governor General has to dissolve Parliament and call elections. That is in section, I think, 64 of the Constitution, subsection 5. So for them to block the opposition from bringing a motion on the alleged basis that the matter is sub judice is really, in my view, a bad and sad day for our democracy. Again, it's an example of freedom of speech, freedom of association, our democratic principles being undermined by the misuse of power by the majority in Parliament.
Mr. Golding says the motion called for the Prime Minister to be condemned for failing to uphold ethical standards in government. It also called for a censure of the Prime Minister's actions of what he calls a covering up of the identities of those under investigation for illicit enrichment. Yes, the motion further requested a declaration that Holness's actions have severely undermined his credibility, leading to a loss of confidence in the House. Mr. Golding says the motion would have been debated during next week's sitting.
We did not want it debated the same day that it was tabled. The Prime Minister is not here in Jamaica. That would not be right or proper. However, we were not allowed to proceed with the tabling of the motion because the Speaker herself had removed herself because the matter affected her husband. And the Deputy Speaker ruled that the motion was improperly brought in breach of the standing orders, relying on the sub judice rule, and so the motion will not go forward. And we think that that is an abuse of the rules of Parliament.
Is it? Yes, is it an abuse of the majority numbers of the government side? Yes. I have a parliamentarian here with me, but we are not here to discuss this. So, but if you want to come in, you can come in. But this is clear politics. Yeah. And as I've been telling you, my listeners, we're into the pre-election campaign period. The opposition has the weapon of the Prime Minister's uncertified statutory declarations, and it is going to use it. It is using it, yes, and they're exploiting under Westminster, yes, this mechanism of a no confidence motion. I am sure they knew that they would not have succeeded yesterday. Therefore, they planned to walk out because that is going to make the headlines. Opposition at this stage of the electoral cycle want the headlines. Yes, they want to be the news, the messaging, yes, to throw off the government message. Right, Senator?
Well, if you have a political advantage on a principle, you don't
Yes.
negate the principle that exists.
Uh-huh.
So the fact that they feel that on a principle this should have been allowed, the advantage that they would have gained don't negate that.
Mhm.
So anybody that has the majority will move the decisions in the direction of the majority,
Yes.
save and except a constitutional matter.
Yeah.
So simple majority passes most laws. However, the party, the PMP, is saying that that simple majority was used to force something that it believes don't exist.
Mhm.
That you don't have the sub judice matter can only be deciphered if it is going to impact the outcome of the court and not just in its existence.
Mhm. But the government side
Yeah.
maintains
That
that
it
under
would-
Erskine May's
Right.
parliamentary rules and practice, the Bible,
Yes.
yeah, if it is sub judice, then it ought not to be discussed.
So one could argue, therefore, that the whole court strategy is to make it sub judice, is to remove the ability to discuss it in Parliament and even in the public.
Save and
So-
accept that the Prime Minister is an injured party who is seeking judicial review
Yes, but I'm saying that
on a live matter.
right. So one benefit of having it in court is to remove the ability to discuss it in the public,
Uh-huh.
and anybody under this cloud would benefit from that lack of discussion. So I would imagine that they also had that conversation in among themselves, that they could benefit from that
Mhm.
while seeking the injury to be removed. So I think that they too are seeking to play politics with it.
And one of the things, as I listened yesterday and this morning, we have to contend with as a young democracy, you know, this notion of what do we hold on to?
Yeah.
What do we make sure we don't damage? Because the sub judice rule is there for a long time because it's a best practice.
Yes.
Because you don't want, under Westminster, yes, parliamentarians, politicians, go into the parliament and prejudice a matter before the court that concerns a rival, an opponent.
Yes.
Yeah? And that is why the sub judice rule is there. And if you trample on that,
Right.
what do we open ourselves to?
But if we also set a precedent that it is used as a tool of defense, then we also open ourselves to.
Well, it's not
to
a
the
precedent,
inability.
it's being
Yeah,
said.
because anybody know that is going to be under this cloud would seek a court intervention. So if tomorrow another filing is made, that person will find it fit to also seek court intervention.
Yeah, but you're talking about frivolous actions now.
Well,
Are you?
some persons are going to presume that this is frivolous, that the integrity, the constitutionality of the Integrity Commission is not really under question. So therefore, I think the court really have the duty now to quickly
Deal with the matter.
deal with this matter. I think that is
Yeah.
where we are. So the court can, and also, how far do we go? Do we go to the Privy Council to keep it sub judice?
Mhm.
If it is that a finding is made that doesn't relieve the perceived injury, does the Prime Minister have that within his back to then go to the Privy Council and further keep it under sub judice? So it's
But on
it's a difficult
balance,
thing.
the Prime Minister has been hammered. Yes? You guys have been beating him on this matter for the better part
As
of
he
what?
would if this matter was on our side as well.
On
Yeah.
his side.
Yes,
If
yes,
it
yes.
were the
If
shoes were
one
on the
of
other,
us was on the other foot,
they
yeah.
would be.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
And therefore, we have to take into consideration, where else does he turn? If he feels that he has really been the victim of a hard done job,
Yes.
where else does he turn?
That's why I'm
but the
saying the
court?
ball is in the court. The court now must quickly move because it's a
Yes.
matter of not us interest but
Uh-huh.
public importance.
Right.
Because the politicians must also know that there is no cover under the court for any long period of time.
Sure.
So anybody that feels injured should have that final activity, that final effort.
Right.
The Integrity Commission can't be left unrefereed. So therefore that is a reasonable end. But it can be that you get a 6-month reprieve or
Yeah.
so I think that where we are now is that the court should quickly convene should then make a statement, and that the Prime Minister and the Jamaica Labour Party should from now indicate if the judges are PMP or not. It shouldn't be that after the outcome now you hear that the judges are PMP too. You understand what I'm saying? So therefore we need
didn't do that.
We need a previous declaration.
No, you can't. No,
because
no,
that is the modus operandi. Once it is not in their favor, the practitioners are now PMP. Now for a party that have 49 to 14, I don't know how so many people are PMP. You understand? The results of the last election don't show that. But everybody that is not in their favor and every outcome that is not in their favor.
But certainly, Senator, you know that based on how we conduct our politics over the decades, yeah, that's the tribal reaction.
But there's also...
That's a tribal, instinctive reaction.
But the tribal reaction...
If somebody rules against your political interest, you blame them, you tag them with the opposition.
I don't look for malice unless I don't see logic.
No, you don't do it, but we know that happens here.
Yes,
by the populace.
The leaders are the ones that are leading the pronouncements, the accusations of political practitioners, when many of them were chosen by these leaders themselves. So a person cannot be hamstrung. You know what I fear now? That the Integrity Commission might feel hard-pressed to go and try and find one PMP to make it don't look like they are really that. But you understand? So we have to be careful, as I say, what we destroy in the society. I can't control the 300,000 JLP and 300,000 PMP that say what they want, but the leaders can't diminish the credibility of all institutions that don't find in their favor. Of course you'll feel aggrieved, right? I can only be accused of illicit impoverishment. I don't have any access to the money, right? But I would feel aggrieved if I was accused.
Illicit impoverishment.
yeah, that's me, right? I stupidly spend
all right, hold it there for the Senator. So we're going to take a break, and after the break, we're going to talk education with Senator Damian Crawford. He's the opposition spokesperson on education. After the break.
Yeah.
My hands were steady. My eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose. My steps were quick and light.
Plug into the sun with Peak Energy Solutions. We are your affordable provider for everything solar. Grid tie or off-grid solar P systems, solar air conditioners, panels, lithium batteries, solar supplies, and installation. Visit us at Shop 1, 3 Mosquito Valley Road, Red Hills, St. Andrew. Call 876-279-8820 or 944-0668. Or email us at peakenergysolutionsja@gmail.com. Peak Energy for everything solar.
This holiday season, Access Financial Services is making your dreams come true with Merry Money Moments. Need cash for gifts, dazzling home upgrades, and celebrations that light up the season? We've got you covered with loans up to $3 million. Enjoy low interest rates, fast approvals, cash in your hand in no time, and best of all, no guarantor needed. This Christmas, leave the stress behind and focus on the joy with Merry Money Moments. Apply today at accessfinanceonline.com. Access Financial Services, turning your holiday wishes into reality. Conditions apply.
At the Ministry of Health and Wellness, we are committed to the values of care, compassion, excellence in service, integrity, teamwork, and innovation as we work to safeguard the health of our nation. The time by the Ministry of Health and Wellness is
26 minutes going up to 11 o'clock.
Eclipse Enterprise is your go-to source for billiards, amusement machines, and electronics. Telephone 876-960-3891. The temperature by Eclipse Enterprise is
28 degrees Celsius in both capital city Kingston and out west in Montego Bay.
'Tis the season to be jolly here at Creative Building Finishes. Deck your halls with our porcelain, ceramic, mosaics, natural stone, and luxury vinyl tiles. This holiday season, get merry with discounted prices on selected items when you shop at Creative Building Finishes. Visit us at 5 Red Hills Road. Call 876-929-5553. Get tiled, get creative this Christmas.
Attention all data protection enthusiasts. Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM every Tuesday at 8:20 a.m. and Thursday at 8:25 a.m. for a new program, Data Protection Matters. Starting June 4, 2024, join us as we delve into crucial topics that will keep you informed and compliant. Data Protection Matters is hosted by Chuck Cameron, founder of Design Privacy, your trusted partner in data protection. Don't miss out. That's every Tuesday morning at 8:20 and every Thursday at 8:25 a.m. Stay protected, stay informed with Nationwide 90 FM and Design Privacy.
Ho, ho, ho! It's the spirit of Christmas and the end of another year. On behalf of the Affairs of the Heart team, we want to wish all our committed special sponsors, Supermed Pharmacy, Durex Condoms, ABC Electrical Sales, and Teeth Ethics Jamaica, a very Merry Christmas. Your invaluable support has meant the world to us, and together, we look forward to making 2025 an even more beautiful journey. To our dedicated listeners and YouTubers, what could we do without you every Tuesday night? We greatly appreciate your listenership and viewership, and together, we will share the stories in 2025. To our guests, who make everything happen between 9 to 10:30 p.m., you bring the vibe and the vibrancy, and we owe you a debt of gratitude for your time and all the info you have shared. To all of you and the wider Jamaica and the world, Merry Christmas and a happy, productive, safe, and healthy 2025 from Affairs of the Heart, right here on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media.
This is a rebroadcast of Cliff Hughes Online from October 2, 2024.
Cliff Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
My hands were steady. My eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose. My steps were quick and light. And I held firm.
My special guest this morning is Senator Damian Crawford. He is the opposition spokesman on education. He's also the PNP caretaker for the constituency of Northwest St. Catherine. Yes? Welcome, Senator Crawford.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Good. So, education.
Yeah.
Myriad of issues. And I've seen, read your thoughts.
Thank you.
On a number of the issues, problems in education, question of numeracy, literacy, funding, security, socialization, teacher retention. You have sought to write about them.
Yes.
Yes. And we invited you here this morning to sit down and to go through them.
Yes, sir.
In some detail.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Which one do you want to start with?
Well, we have to
Which
start
one you
with
consider the most pressing one?
Well, I think the first place we must start is that what is the problem? Because the solution exists by comparing what is desired and what is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the problem is that we have 82% of our children not achieving the desired outcome after an 11-year experience. And the desired outcome is 5 subjects, including math and English.
Mm-hmm.
So the most recent have 18% having 5 subjects, including math and English. And so 82% did not achieve that outcome. It would be the same as the US saying 82% didn't get a GED. Mm-hmm. So therefore, that is a major problem.
And you're saying 82% of the grade 11 cohort,
yes,
those who would have started at grade 7, by the time they get to grade 11.
Well, they would have started at grade 1.
Grade 1.
So
yeah.
we have been investing in them from grade 1.
Fair enough. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, that only 18 of the 100.
Yeah.
Yeah? Are getting the basic, what we consider to be the basic
outcome
that is desirable.
Right. Mm-hmm.
What's happening to the remaining 82%?
Well, they are just falling out of the system. They don't matriculate for university. It is so bad that the police force is having difficulty finding people with mathematics. So they now start to ask for a number.
The whole
subject.
Country, by the way, not only the police force.
Right. So, but it just, if your police force can't find recruits, And math is a subject of logic. That is why persons ask for it. It's supposed to prove thinking ability, reasoning ability, problem solving capacity. And so if you can't find sufficient persons with that, right? And when we looked at the result, 33% passed mathematics in Jamaica, but the Caribbean was also having a problem. Of that 33%, we reverted to look at what they got in PEP, so the 2017 PEP. And these kids were, I think, 61% numeracy. And then when you go back, 61% proficiency in the PEP, and 44% proficiency in the PEP and 61% numeracy in the 4th grade. So therefore, they were never high performing. But when we look at the grade 1 number,
hold on, let me make sure we get those numbers. So you're saying at grade 1,
yes,
in numeracy,
grade 4, numeracy
grade 4,
exam.
What
61% achieved numeracy of this age cohort.
Yes.
So at that time, 61% was
right.
numeracy.
And by the time they got to PEP, 2 years
they
later,
were 44% proficiency.
They'd fallen
yes.
to 44%.
Because some people argue that a numeracy test isn't an efficient and effective test of numeracy. Because a lot of it is then based on memory, more so than actual numeracy. So we have always seen a fall off between the 4th grade and the 6th grade outcomes. And people believe that is a testing methodology more so than the child's capacity. Because even when you look at the grade 1s this year, high mastery was very equivalent to the grade 1s. So we had 2,800 high mastery, and then you had about 2,600 grade 1s in mathematics. So it seems as if we don't have the person to person, because I don't have that data to say Cliff got high performance, high proficiency, and no, he got grade 1. But that number seems to be in correlation.
And grade 1 would be at the CSEC level.
So there's a similar number of persons. What I, however, found to be concerning was about 8,000 of the children that did PEP did not do CXE. So whether they never reached there or they never qualified for
migrated, dropped out of the system, whatever.
Right. So and we don't have that level of
That's
children.
8,000 of a cohort of about how many?
Of about 37,000.
37,000.
So we're looking at
about 20%.
No,
just a little more than 20%.
Right. All right, so I could do the maths. 10% would be 3,600. So if you're looking at 8,000, that is times 2. So yeah, about 22%. Did not make it to do 6.
Right.
Now, I don't know if they're migrated to better pastures or whatever. I don't know if they're at the stoplight, because we do see some of that age cohort. But also, UNESCO had told us that 6,000 young girls get pregnant each year.
In Jamaica?
In Jamaica. Have a baby under the age of 15.
So up to when? Oh, that was at what?
That report came out in 2001, and they said in the last 10 years that we had 60,000.
Oh.
So therefore, if you in 2021, sorry, so in the last 10 years. So what that means, therefore, is that if you look at age 6 to 16, using that number, we would have had about 60,000 children that are children of children. You understand? So you can see how both from the poverty standpoint and everything coming.
So get back to the point the trajectory we're on.
Right.
In terms of the performance now.
Right.
At the CSEC level, how the numbers are falling.
Right. So they're at 18% getting the 5 subject, including math and English. So what we did then is to understand what could be the reason for this. And so the literature, the research speaks to the achievement gap. Unfortunately, most of the research is US-based and developed country-based, because we don't invest in our universities in the way that will allow them to do some of these research. And we, as a government, don't facilitate policy research by paying them to do so. When I went to the EU, myself and Pernell Charles...
So the faculties of education at the university is not doing that?
They're not being engaged sufficiently to do these things. It takes resources. It takes access to data. So they're not being engaged. There was a department of research. So statin might exist, but it's not going in the in-depth conversations that we need. So the achievement gap is when there's one group that is doing much better than another group to a statistically significant level. So when you do a research set to the 5% level, etc. So if you look at it, the top 20% of Jamaican schools are getting 82% chance of 5 subjects. And the bottom 20% is getting 2.3% chance of 5 subjects. So clearly there is a gap. And we all know what Campion is, and we all know what Denham Town is. Not seeking to to discredit Denham Town, but that's the reality of the outcomes.
In fact, Denham Town is improving.
Very much so, and,
Yes.
and Joe Matalan has been investing.
Yes, they're improving.
But the fact is they're still not at 10% at this particular point in time, getting 5 subjects.
Yeah.
So this is the achievement gap, and there are some reasons that have been highlighted why a campaign student is likely to do better than a Denham Town student, and it starts from birth.
Yeah.
So the what they call the stimulation gap. So the stimulation gap is the fact that many children are not stimulated in the first 1,000 days. And Royal Reed was talking about this a lot before he had to leave. So in the first 1,000 days, 80% of your brain functioning is developed. But most Jamaicans don't even think about school until they are in basic school, which is age 3. So it's after the first 1,000 days. And many don't even, age 3 is still just a caretaking methodology, not a teaching system.
Yeah.
So therefore, the stimulation gap is one of those things where their brain has developed, they're not exposed to the number of words, their vocabulary is limited, and their brain functioning, how they think, is poor. And so therefore, one of the things we wanted to do was to reduce the stimulation gap by putting in a technology-based an app that indicate to the parent what they should expose their child to. Because it is my opinion that people are innately good but don't know what to do. I don't think they hate their children. So I have a 16-month-old Tutus, that we have something that indicates. Yeah. So it indicates to us how to say up each time she wants to be lifted. So now she asks for up when she wants to be lifted. Unfortunately, it hasn't taught us the down as yet, and she's getting heavy. But she says up when she wants to be lifted. To take her outside and show her the difference between big and small with a stone, water, when it's raining, etc. So it indicates each day to the individual. But they said that she would be exposed to over 4,000 more words than a person of a lower income with a lower level of verbosity, right, within the household. I joke because when she was born, I was preparing to answer Nigel in the parliament, so it was budget time, and for some reason she just was smiling when she heard Nigel's voice. I was depressed about it. But the point is, all those words she's been exposed to that he is using because of what I'm consuming.
Yes.
You understand? And so therefore she's, without being intentional about it, being exposed to high levels of vocabulary because of the things that I consume to prepare.
Hold it there for me, Senator, because you're onto something that I'm fascinated with. As a trained teacher, you learned it, the psychology of development between 0 and 5 years old. That human being is going to learn up to 70%
of what they eventually know
in their entire life.
Yes.
After the break.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right.
The Legal Aid Council provides free legal assistance on some criminal matters. To find out if you qualify or for more information on legal aid, call 948-6999. The time by the Justice Ministry is
10:48.
Have yourself a colorful Christmas with Edge Campaigns, where you could win amazing prizes. Just spend $20,000 or more on Edge Cam products, or
buy 1 5-gallon Color Glow plus Low Sheen paint to enter. You could win a weekend for 2 at a resort, among other great prizes.
Shop at participating distributors island-wide to enter.
Visit our socials at Edgecam Jamaica for full rules and details.
Promotion runs November 15 to December 15, 2024.
It's a Color Glow Christmas with Edge Campaigns. Changing lives 1 gallon at a time.
Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Hey Daddy, have you heard about Mother's Bakery's new Christmas treats?
Oh, you mean their Christmas cake, right?
Yes, they've also got a new sorrel cake. It's only available at Pressmarts and select supermarkets for the season.
Sorrel cake? That sounds deliciously festive.
Right? Mother's Bakery knows exactly how to bring those holiday flavors we love.
I'm getting them all. Perfect for holiday gatherings or just cozy nights in with my little bunununus.
This season, Daddy, it's all about Mother's Bakery.
Total Tools is having a Black Friday sale weekend! Sale, sale, sale! Up to 50% off select items. Major discounts on tools, accessories, lighting, and electrical supplies. All Black Friday weekend long. Thursday, November 28 to Saturday, November 30. Move fast, only while stocks last. Visit Total Tools Kingston, Ocho Rios, or Drax Hall. Total Tools, we've got you totally covered.
The management and the staff of the Jamaica Customs Agency extend the very best wishes to you and your family for a safe, peaceful, and enjoyable holiday. Whether you're effecting clearance at the port, traveling to and from the airport, or undertaking other transactions, we urge you to travel safely, use good judgment, and stay within the speed limit. We thank you for your support throughout 2024 and look forward to a healthy, prosperous, and productive new year. Happy New Year from Jamaica Customs.
This is a rebroadcast of Cliff Hughes Online from October 2, 2024.
Cliff Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
My hands were steady.
We are talking education and the problems, the challenges we are having as a country with education, with the opposition spokesman on education, Senator Damian Crawford. And before the break, he was telling me about what he calls the stimulation gap, between birth and the first 1,000 days in life. Absolutely crucial. This is something that is well known.
Yes.
Yes? Science, medicine, research
has proven
this. Yes. Mm-hmm. So you say all of this to say that part of the fix
must be that early stimulation.
And what we do at the national and at the micro household level to close that stimulation gap.
Correct.
Because it is the start that is almost predictive.
It's 70% of your development is that time.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you are late to the playing field, you only have 30% to gain.
Mm-hmm.
And so that 30%, you'll have to be a genius for that 30% to be sufficient to surpass those who started with 70%.
Yeah.
And so that is why we think that we should have monitors in place assigned to families to ensure that they're participating. So therefore, on a daily basis, it indicates what you should do to touch, to feel, to words.
Monitors of what?
Of the group. So therefore, the parents are given the app, but they must report within the app that they are participating.
Hold on, go back a little. I think you didn't develop that well. So you're proposing the use of technology through the development of an app to do what?
Indicate a homeschool curriculum, a daily homeschool activity for your child from the date of birth until they're 3. What is it that you're supposed to be engaging them with? What words you should be using on day 27? What games you should be playing on day 59 or day 312?
Mm-hmm.
Because these things exist currently. Mm-hmm. So as I said, carry at day 347, carry them outside to play with stones and teach them big and small. Big, small, big, small. When you're lifting them, say up. When you're giving them something to drink, water. Then you associate that with the rain, water, rain. So these apps exist. But then if the person doesn't consume it, it is medicine that exists but not being taken. And so we're assigning to families social workers that monitor the engagement, the reporting of completion, and reward the reporting of completion.
First of all, where are these apps being used?
Most middle-class people have these apps.
In Jamaica?
I have an app. Mm-hmm. Right? That globally exists. That tells me what to say, tells me what to play, that tells me what words to use. So the homeschool material curriculum, there are global best practices of how to engage a child, of when to introduce 4-letter words, of when to introduce we call it silent letters.
Mm-hmm.
So those things exist, and how to stimulate the brain. Mm-hmm. So what
the question I'm listening to you, the question that is coming in my head.
Yes.
How do you apply that in a home that is really 4 walls and nothing more, where the mother is probably some, and I hate to put it this way, some irresponsible, she have the picnic, she have forgone, whether hustle or whatever, no dad around, and that woman is left with on her own, and she have a hustle.
Right. So right.
No two parents.
Because
Tutus has two parents.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm about 7 auntie and 55 cousin.
Precisely.
Yes. Right.
How you apply it in that reality in Jamaica.
So what we don't recognize is that at that age, stimulation is not 8 hours. It's an hour and a half. It's 2 hours combined for the day. And so therefore there are morning activities when you just wake up, there's dinner activities, so therefore that stimulation is not incapable to be done as if it's an 8-hour day that you must be available. Now there will be a minority in my assumption that are uninterested parents, but I don't believe the majority are uninterested parents. I believe the majority are uninformed parents, don't know what to do. And by extension providing that avenue, especially when the aides go to when you have a baby, the aide go and sign you up, give you you call it baby passport, and you have community health workers, etc. Those are the people that we're engaging to say, okay, Cliff didn't enter complete today. Hello, Cliff, we haven't seen you in the last 6 weeks. Are you doing the thing?
So you're going to having to find the resources to recruit an army of what you call them monitors.
Yes.
And you're talking about thousands of
Not
people.
thousands, because if you look at the birth rate per year, you're looking at about 36,000 per year.
Yeah.
So if you put 1 to 60, right? And one of the things that we want from the middle class Jamaicans and the upper class Jamaicans is to participate in those groups and become monitors. So we're also engaging the society, like what we did with Jamal, where you're a monitor within it, that you're calling the person in your group. You're 60, you're 70. How is it going? We're going down to the park tomorrow. Would you like to come? So that all our children, because one of the problems we're going to face is if they become a threat to the society, our society also becomes a threat to us. And so we're now seeking to engage the full sum of the society. So I with Tutus would have another 16-month-old, and I would be engaging. I'm going to say nothing from you as well. So therefore the monitor will be subsidized by middle class and upper class persons who might know better and can educate and inform better.
Senator, it sounds good.
Yes.
But I'm thinking the challenge of getting that done in Jamaica today, where that sense of responsibility, I think, is lacking. That sense of, what's the word? Where I find that community, what you're talking about is community building, and family building,
Yes.
I'm a problem. I'm too old,
No.
but I'm feeling that it is going to be a massive effort to mobilize, to get monitors to participate.
If we are at 82% failing, every effort is going to be a massive effort.
Yeah.
Because the vast majority are failing. We're not tinkering on we're at 80 and we want to get 2% passing. We want to move from 18 to 80. So every effort will be massive. There's a lot of people training in social work. There's a group of people who are already community health aides, not given the responsibility of the education.
Also, you'd include
So
them?
yes, of course, because they're looking if the baby is developing physically. But we're going to retrain them to also look if the baby is developing mentally, if they're participating in these activities for their own mental development. So some of those already exist and we'll expand it. But we're also looking, because you see, a crowd is based on organization. Sometimes the crowd is less than the people disorganized. I think we have more good people than bad people. They're just not organized.
Right.
And so a department of volunteerism will also be set up so that we can
Based
have...
where?
In the Ministry of Education.
A department of volunteerism.
So a man say, I can do one day. So for example, we have math teacher shortage. I can teach 1 day a week, but I can't teach 5 days a week. If 5 of us was organized, and I do Monday, you do Tuesday, you do Wednesday, then we have a teacher for every day. And you tell me I do fraction, whatever. So the Department of Volunteerism will then attract persons to say, I want to help. I'm a retired teacher. I want to help. I am a person of this ilk. I want help. So therefore, I for example, one of the things we do currently is what I call telephone tutorial. So people who can't read, we give them a strategy for 60 days and they get a student number and just call that child and do 40 minutes per day. So there's a telephone tutorial that the diaspora can participate.
How that works?
Okay, so there's a child that's reading below the grade level. Literacy specialists say, this is a child in the pre-primary, call it pre-primary. And so for the next 60 days, every day they should do this, that, word identification, comprehension, whatever. So we will give you, Cliff Hughes, the 60 days trend, what you should do for the 60 days. And this is your child, Kevin. You call Kevin for 40 minutes and you go through day one. And then you call him for 40 minutes and you go through day two. So Kevin now have a personalized teacher who was given both a video and a list, a strategy of what to do with Kevin. So when Kevin come after 60 days, he's reanalyzed.
So that is now...
That's what I'm doing in my constituency now, in my local place. Come and test some of the theories. And
Yes.
But so the Department of Volunteerism will have person who say, I will volunteer for that. I can read. I'm not an expert. So if you tell me what to do, what words he should identify, how should I do the strategy, I can apply that strategy.
Yes.
And with this person for 40 days. Now, if this person have a person-to-person, he must improve quicker than if he's in a 40 people class. You understand what I'm saying? So those are the things. So the Department of Volunteerism will help to do that, because Jamal came when Jamaica was perceived to be a dark place in the 1980s, and all of that was still happening, and many volunteered.
I noticed as part of your plan, as a marketer, you make provisions for marketing, because this is going to need a massive social marketing effort. Because to get to those parents, those caregivers, the extended family members, is going to require some effort.
But the purpose of education is social reengineering. So marketing must be a part of social reengineering. That is something that I think Chris Tufton understands. That he have to market the movement, Jamaica moves, because we have diabetes, we have this, that. So therefore, there must be a 2 is better than too many campaign. When we used to have 7, 8 children. That has been so effective that we shorter children now. We're
below the reproductive
rate. We want to say 4 is better than 2 now, right? But there was a time 13 children, 5 children, 7 children was the norm. So therefore, I believe that the private sector would have to come on to give local prizes, a KFC voucher if you complete it for the month for certain people, to encourage them, to engage them. So a hotel stay, if your group is the best performing group. So we engage the private sector, but we also promoting to the people why this is important, and that if you go around the corner and buck up into sufferation, you shouldn't allow your child to go around that corner, that your duty is that he's better than you. That is your ultimate duty. So marketing is a central part that I think the ministry is lacking at the education level, but I think that health understands and is trying to push.
We're talking with Senator Damien Crawford, Education. We want to hear from you. Yes, if you want to ask him about something you have heard, yes, now is the time to give us a call. All right, let's go to the break and come back.
My hands were steady. My eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose. My steps were quick and light.
Super healthy, super happy. SuperMed located in Kingston, St. Thomas, Portland, and St. Mary. The time by SuperMed family of pharmacies and Hughes Pharmacy is
3 minutes after 11.
Are you ready for it?
Revo. Coming soon.
This is a rebroadcast of Cliff Hughes Online from October 2, 2024.
Cliff Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
My hands were steady. My eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose. My steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right. Like a rock. Like a rock.
We continue with the opposition spokesman in education, Senator Damien Crawford. He has been talking with me and putting forward some ideas, yes, to really tackle some of the more intractable problems we have with education. Damien, you've been seeing the reactions on the YouTube platform. One person said that I should tell you to include the churches. The churches have a lot of retired teachers that you should look on. Another person just sent me a WhatsApp to say that you have some excellent ideas. Let me read it. Damien is making excellent points. We have to apply more psychology in education to get our children to meet and exceed benchmarks. Yes, this issue of involving more the churches
Yes.
and retired teachers.
Yes.
What's it?
Again, that's the Department of Volunteerism, because again, many church persons know they throw their tithes, but they also should see that they have a duty to the society, to bring the church to the society and to bring the society to the church. So the Sunday school, the Sabbath school could always be used as a platform for literacy. You're still reading the Bible, maybe the New English Version because of the literacy component. You're still reading the Christian books. But as I said, with the retired teachers with that capacity, they would then give the students an ability to read. I've been visiting churches as a part of the whole campaign process, and I've seen some churches with children are excellent musicians, given the opportunity to practice in the church, that read the lesson on a particular day, that is doing sign language. So the church is playing that role, but should expand itself, and I accept that suggestion.
Yes.
And would target the church population for being a part of the Department of Volunteerism.
As I said, we're talking education. We are on the early childhood section of the focus. We have a caller online. Oh, Damien for Damien. Good morning.
Namesake, how you do?
Good morning.
Morning, Damien Crawford. Always call Tyrone, but I've never spoken to Cliff. Nice to speak to you, Cliff.
Yes, good.
Yes. Quick question. Last Friday, funny enough, I was posing a question to Tyrone about Damien, and here is Damien here now, so Damien, here is Damien's question. On the conference, I heard you speak about giving every children free lunch.
Yes.
You know, I have due respect for you. I'm not in favor with all those things because I'm a conservative and I'm from a country who give every children free lunch, and my wife also is a teacher, and she can say that a lot of the students them doesn't eat the lunch.
Yes.
You know, because their parents can provide. You know? So my question is, how would I be able to pay for the free lunch? Because you use an analogy that the prisoner
they get 3 meals in jail.
Can afford to give meals per day.
Yes.
But when I do the math, the last time I heard a statistic about the prisoner to ratio, it was about 6,000 or a little bit below 6,000. You know, so if I round it off, I said 7,000.
Yes.
And when I was going to Jamaica, my school on one shift probably about 1,500 students.
Yes.
So I'm wondering how that math will work for us to pay, and how you will work out the money, how much it would cost for a school to a parish. Because in my case, not even a parish that could feed. You understand me?
Yes, yes.
So I will hear and see how you work that out. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Damien.
Thank you very much for the question. Now,
yes.
So you have carried us now to this other problem, which is called a nutrition gap.
Yes.
So there's a lot of students out there. They said that 33% of Jamaican children arrive at school hungry. That's about 142,000. Now, when they say they arrive at school hungry, it means that they got there at 7:30 having not had breakfast. And then it also contributes, one of the major contributors to the absenteeism in Jamaica is because of availability of food. So they don't have lunch money, bus fare, etc. So what they call chronic absenteeism is 10% absence, which in our case would be 19 days. However, Statin reported that in the urban areas...
Well, you're assuming that your listeners understand what you're talking about.
Right, sorry.
Chronic absenteeism, 10%.
Yes.
You say 19 days. The average school year in Jamaica is 190
days. Correct, yes.
So that's what you're talking about.
So chronic absenteeism is absenteeism sufficient to negatively affect performance.
Yes.
So therefore, if you miss 10% of the time, you're likely to not perform very well.
Right.
And they say if you miss 20% of the time, you're likely to perform in an exam as if you did not go to school. And this is because education is cumulative, meaning I expect to teach you what you, in addition to what you learned yesterday.
You're building on.
So a simple example, in mathematics, I will teach you factorization on Tuesday and then teach you quadratic equation on Thursday, because quadratic equation is dependent on your understanding of factorization.
Right.
If you're absent on Tuesday, even your presence on Thursday, unless I'm going to teach it over, but you're not learning anything on Thursday because it is dependent on your understanding. In the rural areas, we have 67% present. That means we have 33% absenteeism. So they're very chronic. And in the urban area,
say that again.
In the
in rural
area,
Jamaica,
right, we have a 33% absenteeism.
For the school year.
For the school year, and in urban spaces, we have a 18 to 20% absenteeism. And the urban spaces is what you do is subsidized by the traditional schools having 100%. So the non-traditional school is closer to the rural spaces. So basically we're saying in Jamaica we're all chronically absent. And therefore most of our children are performing, as the World Bank said, as if they got 7 years of adequate education, even though they attended school for 11 years. Right? So you pay school fee, you buy book, you buy bag for 11 years. But that absenteeism contributes to that because it is an add-on. Right? And they become frustrated and them think them done and they don't want to learn. So when we reviewed what Hughie wrote about the 10 reasons for absenteeism, violence was one. Rain and weather. Many rural spaces, once rainfall, taxi can't drive, them can't reach the school. Distance traveled. We have 850 primary schools, but 150 something secondary schools. So proximity to a secondary school was never a priority because constitutionally is not a right. Constitutionally, your right ends at a primary school. So therefore, primary schools are more in proximity than secondary schools, with 850 all over the place and only 150 something secondary schools. So what we said to ourselves, therefore, is that if nutrition is so important, so much so that some schools are offering mathematics in the morning just to get the advantage after breakfast, because the kid's not going to have no lunch. You understand? So if that is an issue, then we should provide a lunch per child. Right now, that will be about $27 billion when we do the mathematics on it. We're averaging that per year. Now, we
$27 billion for approximately 500,000?
400 and something thousand children.
400,
right?
Yeah.
And times 20 days, times the 290 days,
right?
Whatever, right? So,
but wouldn't you have to means test that, because not all 400,000 would need it?
Don't need your money. But what we are seeing also is that children who can buy lunch are not getting a nutritious lunch because there was no research into what nutrition they need. So you get a food with one little tubs of vegetable, whole heap of rice, whole heap of gravy, and piece of chicken. So therefore you find that our girls, because of their menstrual cycle, they're short of iron, and you find that our boys, because of their muscle development, are short of protein. So we're saying we need to develop 25 menus that the school can choose from, that this is what you should offer.
And I see where you emphasize in one of the papers that we should focus on Jamaican staples.
Yes.
And protein.
Because we then develop the economy as well.
Yeah.
Because we're doing rice, but we're not doing rice and pumpkin rice or callaloo rice, or which we grow, which will then pay his mom for growing callaloo, or pay his dad for growing pumpkin. And then that now creates greater nutrients than we're having access to. So therefore we want to engage these nutritionists for a nutrition profile of what our primary school boys and primary school girls, what our high school boys and high school girls, what they should be consuming in portions and in content. And then
you make a distinction between the boys and the girls.
Yes, because as I said, protein is an inadequacy for our boys. The muscle development that is happening has created that. And iron deficiency with the menstrual cycle has created that. So when any woman that have iron deficiency, they know that them feel lethargic from morning till night. So a girl that is not, so even if she have money, what is available to her? And the government now has been talking about sugary drinks and all of that. So it's not like this is a totally new conversation. It's just that we haven't carried it to the point to say we are designing lunches that should be in school. And these are not only, that's why we said 25. You can choose a banana casserole with this, that, because we have designed it, we have taste tested it, and this should be in school. Because even those with money are not affording. So it is not, one of the problems that they found in the US, why I wanted to say every child, is that if the food is for the poor, it is frowned upon, it's stigmatized, and so then the poor don't even want it.
Yeah,
you understand?
Don't want to be seen to be having
so
it.
Therefore, the system that we have might have a means test, meaning you pay on your card, but everybody get the same food.
Right. Some schools actually do that.
Right. Yeah. So the mother might say, all right, I'm going to give my children a month but my child get the same food.
Right.
Because once you start to say this is the poor food, then
you're in
the consumption, right? And the schools are now facing that with path lunches. Because children take the path lunch and then sell it back to somebody. You understand? And then him go buy a coffee strip. So these are just some of the experiences that we have found. So when we say 1 meal per child, and one of the things that I find to be a problem, if we say 40 billion for road, nobody think that we can't afford it. But if we say 30 billion for school, immediately. So we want to fix the road we drive on, but we're not fixing the road they're going down. Our children going down this crazy road to poverty and criminality and social upheaval. And there's a reservation in fixing that road.
Yeah.
But if we say 100 billion for potholes,
we don't have a problem.
Nobody question 100 billion for potholes. You understand? But if we said, okay, we want to board 30% of our children, a man say, how are you going to afford it? Right? Now, if we don't do that, Cliff, when we have this absenteeism problem, first of all, we can't do proper specialist school without boarding. Because everybody must have access to a specialist school. It can't be that me have to live in proximity to a specialist school to have access. So if I'm going to put 4 schools with chef labs, chef kitchens, to train chefs so that when our hotels now have to import people, an overman must can come to it. So you need boarding for that specialization. If I'm going to do some for automotive services, you need boarding to facilitate that. But if you're going to re-engineer the society, you also need to separate some of these kids from the communities of influence. Because they are being recruited by gangs. And they come and rate teacher for 2 hours and then go back and rate Dan for 14 hours. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So therefore, what I am finding is a reservation, and education has never won elections, unfortunately. I have experience where they demonstrated in East Rural. So education can't and pick don't vote.
When they demonstrate against you.
Yes, right? So it's not a political, because it takes long, the term done before you see the results of it.
Yeah.
You understand?
Because what you're talking about, is going to take 10, 15 years.
15 years for you to see the outcome, but you will start to see the progress. You don't have a house, but you see the blocks.
Yes,
you start to see the foundation. So if I said to you, education is cumulative, then how is it that we're testing at the end of the term? So all that you never understand before hasn't been corrected. So if we don't expand the school day to 4:30 instead of 2:30, we won't be able to have the homework centers, the remedial classes, and we're sending home children without adult supervision.
Hold on. What did you just say?
That we believe.
You believe?
Yeah.
You said we. Pronoun.
Yes.
We.
Yes. I'm speaking on behalf of the People's National Party.
Okay. Hold it for us
Fully
after
authorized.
the break. Fully Hold on, we'll come back after the break. You just said something that after the break.
My eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose. My steps were quick and
All I want for Christmas is...
Wait, Chris and Charles has great loans and something extra special this season? Yes, we're spreading joy to everyone. Starting November 1st, 2024, get a low interest rate Christmas loan and a special reward just for you. Call 876-926-0609 or visit our website for details. Better hurry, conditions apply. Stocks are limited. Promotion ends December 23rd, 2024. When you think loans, think Chris and Charles.
The management and staff of Spencer's Tailoring Establishment, Shop 21A, Central Plaza, Kingston, wish you, their supportive and well-meaning customers, every happiness this holiday season has to offer. May peace be your gift at Christmas and your blessing all year round. Merry Christmas and best wishes for the new year. From Spencer's Tailoring, the difference is class.
The holiday season is filled with happiness and cheer, but it can also be a time of danger for road users. Here's a holiday road safety tip from Petrojam Limited in association with the Road Safety Unit.
Don't speed. In the rush to get to a Christmas party or to do your Christmas shopping, you may be tempted to speed. Drive within the speed limit to prevent crashes this holiday season. A speeding ticket and possible collisions are not likely on your holiday wish list, so make this holiday season a safe one for all. A holiday road safety tip from the Road Safety Unit and Petrojam Limited, where safety is our #1 priority.
This is a rebroadcast of Cliff Hughes Online from October 2, 2024.
Cliff Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
my hands were steady.
We're taking your calls for Senator Damian Crawford, the opposition spokesperson in education. We're talking education and we'll do so up until 12. Yes? And just before the break, Senator Crawford said that, listen, he's putting on the table, the opposition is putting on the table, the policy shift to extend the school day to 4:30.
Yes.
From 2 o'clock.
Right, from 2:30.
From 2:30.
Yes.
How are you going to get the JTA to buy into this?
Well, I don't know why people believe the JTA is anti-education and anti-progress. They're anti-being enslaved. So therefore, people want to be rewarded for their effort. Even when you look at the current proposal for the teaching policy, it has a stick, but it has no carrot. So if you don't do this, you're going to get that. If you don't do this, you're going to get that. But you don't go, if you do this, you get something else. So therefore, what we are looking at, first of all, why we need this. We're sending home children at 2:30 when no adult gets home until 7:30, based on traffic when work finish, etc. We have a 47% single parent experience. So if one parent is in the household and that parent is engaged in earning functions, the child is home being recruited by gangs and being molested by adults, right? That is why 6,000 of our young girls are having children before the age of 15, right? That is why we call them unattached. So therefore we're saying, and we're also sending them home with homework to a 9th grade dropout. That doesn't make any sense. 11th grade homework to a 9th grade dropout. So we're saying if we extend the school day from 2:30 to 4:30, that 2 hours on a Monday and a Wednesday will be used for homework and remedial lessons. So you didn't understand factorization, as I said earlier, you will do that in the afternoons. Because if you don't get that before Thursday, you're not going to understand quadratic. So there is immediate remediation. And then 2 days for socialization for clubs and societies and those participation so that they can be engaged. As I said, on what they call it again, when they say the criminals are recruiting unattached youth. But what have we done to attach them? In the cadet corps, in the girls' guide. So therefore we're saying all schools should have Tuesdays and Thursdays reserved for clubs and societies, Mondays and Wednesdays for remedial effort and homework sessions. If you find a child is in need of greater remediation, then you pull him out of clubs and society and him get that remediation in the Tuesdays and Thursdays as well, so that he isn't left behind until the end of the year. We're saying, Jesus Christ, this one failed, but we still have to send him forward because we don't have the space to repeat it. So that's the reason why we want to do that. How are we going to get teachers to be engaged? Now, a school will have 80, at the secondary level, 80 teachers, which means that for 2 days, we would only need 40 at a time. So a teacher really going to give me 2 days of the week because it will rotate, right? But additionally, we'll use technology to remove one of the most hardest task of marking papers. Right? You have AI technology now that automatically marks based on the teacher putting in just the proposed answer. This is the proposed answer. Scan it into AI and it's marked. Sending a review on each course. So if you look on Google Visionary and all them, they have AI things. So we're taking out that arduous task. We're still asking teachers, you have to write a lesson plan. Instead of having a stock lesson plan for grade 7, pathway 1, stock lesson plan
that
for
is being done
pathway
now.
2. Yes, they're starting to implement that. But what they've not added to that is have a video of a proposed methodology, a proposed strategy. So when I'm teaching grade 7 pathway 1 fractions, I can watch a master teacher video. Say, these are the styles and methods that them use. All right, cool, I'm going to use that next week. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Yeah. So therefore, when you take out that administrative arduous thing, because the teacher don't finish at 2:30 now. The teacher don't even finish on Friday. They have to mark papers. A teacher teaches 4 classes of 40 people. So you imagine how long it takes you to mark 160 books. Right? So many people say, they want to teach till 2:30. 9 o'clock she's still marking book. Saturday she marking book. Sunday. So we're taking out that arduous task. And then we will reward them as well for those who seek to participate. Some of the rewards include qualification for being a senior teacher, master teacher, and stuff like that. So when we look, Cliff, we're saying, listen, if you get 80% improvement or 80% passes, and make sure we know the difference, because some schools have very good children and some schools get children that are unfortunately below the average. So if you get 20% improvement on the child that you receive, then you should automatically, on 80% of the children, you should be a senior teacher. Shouldn't be somebody just feel a vibes and really. Just that performance. If you maintain next year, you get a senior teacher pay again or a senior teacher bonus at the end. If you get 80% of your children pass a subject, you should be a senior teacher. So some of the rewards is not is to now promote you based on your performance. You understand?
Hold it. We have a caller online for you, Senator Crawford. Everton, good morning.
Blessings. How are you doing? Morning, everybody.
Morning, Everton.
All right, here's my issue now. For me, the classroom is the most unpleasant place to work. And you can ask the United Nations. I think they did a survey the other day, which established, I don't remember how much teachers I said the classroom need now. So, teachers and the classroom being this unattractive place, which in a sense affect how kids learn, right?
Yes.
And it's not just unique to Jamaica. Right? Even America, the education system there are searching for teachers. Teachers are moving out of the classroom and moving to other areas. Right? I get the impression as if teacher issue is just unique to Jamaica. And I've seen that argument propagandized almost every cycle. But maybe, Damien, you can't tell me the amount of teachers that the United Nations said the classroom globally required presently. But here my issue now, because I know other persons might want to speak. All right, you have a child and you feed him fat and you dress him properly and you send him to school.
Yes.
Right? But this child live in our garrison.
Yes.
Right? This child I hear a gunshot about every night. This child I see him, a big brother, his big brother with a tool. This little girl, I see her mother, her big sister behave inappropriately, right?
Yes.
The issue with me have, and for me, as far as politics is concerned, I think I am done because people just say what them want you to hear as politician. I've lost faith in politicians, but hear me. Every constituency who ever done have a member of parliament or a caretaker, right? Every constituency. So all of these children are spanned across the length and breadth of Jamaica, living in a constituency where inappropriate action, badmanism, danism, murders every day. For me, and this I've seen for years, not just now, but me as a grown person. I've seen this for years. Me born and grew up West Kingston, right? And I've seen this for years. When a government is as the reign in the country, crime and violence is responsibility, and then the opposition just use it as a tool, then for prepare his or herself to come back in power. Now, dear man, you have good ideas, right? Great ideas, but if we don't create environments that is conducive to peace, tranquility, where a child can sit down doing more work, can play a marble outside. All of these stuff we're talking about, we're going to end up another 15 years with somebody else maybe having the same discussion. The root of Jamaica problem is crime and violence, and I believe it's not just the responsibility of the government, it's the responsibility of all of us and the opposition. Margolin, a jungle in there, people are there at a town. You know, the Prime Minister in their water house, people are dying there. And all of these communities, kids are living there. And when we see that them scores not coming up, sometimes we don't wonder if this is the factor will affect them. We believe so well a budget or feeding or something like that. We need to start look on the thing the right way.
Well, let me hear Senator Crawford on that. Senator.
Well, for sure, trauma is an impact on children and everybody. Some of them have lost loved ones themselves. And most times when they lose loved ones, the government intervention ends with 2 days or 3 days of visitation, which often don't solve the problem. However, the bigger point that was made, I believe, is that there is a global teacher shortage. And by extension, in responding to the global environment, a government have a duty to fight for its space in the global environment, to maintain our teachers, as the US is fighting to recruit teachers. So the solution, I believe, starts with an effort to retain our teachers. And to retain our teachers, we must look at what are the push factors for migration. The push factors is inability to own a home. So therefore, we believe that special concession should be made at NHD, that once you remain a teacher, the special concession continues, but once you leave the classroom, it transforms to a normal loan. Many banks have offered special rates to their employees. When they leave, it become a normal loan with a normal rate. We believe that concessions should be offered at a special rate for every 5 years that you stay. So you get a 5% off for 5 years, 10% off for 10 years, so that you may want to stay as a teacher. There's a benefit. We believe that for each year that you remain in the classroom, your student loan should be written off. So for year 1, your student loan is written off. If it was 200,000, we'll pay it. Next year you stay, we pay another 200,000. So those are strategies to become competitive, because England is trying to be competitive by paying a relocation amount of $2 million. And California is trying to be competitive by taking your family. You understand? So I'm giving you the first 3 months of housing. So if we just watch and do nothing, we'll be left behind. And
all right. Thank you, Everton. You have a follow-up?
Yeah, man. Bless them.
All right. Thank you. Here's one on WhatsApp for you, Damien. This is one of the best conversations I've ever heard from a politician in Jamaica in my 38 years.
Thank you.
The person goes on to say, these are the issues that we should be having debates about. But will we ever mature as a country to get there? Yeah? I would vote for him now. And the person goes on, teacher them now go agree, because it will cut out the extra lessons money. This is your idea about extending the school day from 2:30 to 4:30. Person says teacher them now go agree, because it will cut out the extra lessons money for them.
I disagree, because mathematically less for more people can equal the same. So total revenue is price times quantity. So if we said to the teachers, all right, then you would have gotten $3,000 for the day, right? But we are going to give you $2,500. What would be the reason? So one of the things I want, for example, is to say $2,000 for every child will get at grade 2. Now, if a teacher is teaching 80 people, him can be rewarded for the $2,000 for every child will get at grade 2. We want to say, this is a teacher's discount to go to hotels. Your discount is based on your performance. So therefore, I don't believe that they are unreasonable people, but nobody wants additional work for nothing. Not you, not me, not anybody. Right. So therefore, we feel that we can engage that army of 40,000 teachers. We feel that we can engage that army of 2,000 principals, 4,000 guidance counselors, to then say, listen, we can change the society. That is why in my speech at the conference, I said we will surpass Trinidad and Barbados, because I'm trying to build a national thing, that our team is going into CXC, right? And children are saying, I'm on Team Jamaica to go to CXC. That's how we deal with Carifta. The coaches do extra time because they want to win. You understand? So because we're so competitive as a space, I start to position it in my mind to say, listen, we're competing. They are at 45, we're at 18. We can't keep it like that. So a person will get them coach jacket, a student who make the team because he qualifies for 5 subjects, will get him Jamaica t-shirt and feels like he's a part of it. How do you sustain it? You have to study 4 hours. Yeah, but it's marketing. Yeah. It is opinions. It is beliefs. It is engagement, motivation. So when a child get him Jamaica shirt and him knows him have to study 4 hours to maintain his Jamaica shirt, he then starts to act as if he want to win for Team Jamaica, and the principal call him up from Ascot High. 5 of us are on Team Jamaica CXC. Right. He feels like there is a benefit, but only the footballer get that benefit currently.
Right. Hold the line. We're taking more of your calls for Senator Damon Crawford, and your questions. You can post them online as well at Nationwide, where you can go on our YouTube platform, Nationwide 90 FM Live. He's seeing the comments. Yeah. What do you make of the comments?
Well, most of them are funny, but there are some people who the one who said Tutus is a good kid still have to say that.
Time for the break.
The management and staff of Banmark West and Negril would like to extend season's greetings to their loyal customers. Let the peace and the joy of this holiday season be yours now and throughout the new year. So this season, visit Banmark for all your bikes and bike rentals or call 957-0196. Happy holidays from Banmark.
It's the most wonderful time. No need to fuss or fight. It's Total Tools Christmas brought a bundle, oh so bright. landscapers, mechanics, painters, and more, plumbers, DIYers, and homeowners galore, tradesmen, workers, and entrepreneurs too. Massive savings catered just for you. Quality tools and a treat in store. We appreciate you, that's for sure. Merry Christmas. Come see what's in store at Total Tools. We've got you covered more and more.
This is a rebroadcast of Cliff Hughes Online from October 2, 2024.
All right, we continue with Senator Damian Crawford, and the YouTubers are out in their numbers, and the reactions are amazing as usual. Betsy Paul says talk and nothing else. Real Me says Masama no like
You know the business where we are talking about. You just have a different story.
No. But here's another WhatsApp. Hey Cliff, hide my identity. She doesn't want me to call her identity.
Yes.
I'll tell you she's a banker.
I think that's favor.
No. No, that's not favor. She says, please ask Crawford about the relevance of CXC exam to the real world versus International Baccalaureate IB program and other programs that need to be implemented to better prepare our students for the real world. Does the opposition have a position on encouraging a change in the overall CXC curriculum?
No, but to expand the options that they have. One of the things that we want to do is to use HEART to build out a cluster of 4 labs in each high school. So we want to take over the next 4 years, $5 billion from HEART to build a cluster of vocational opportunities, and they'll be used for the children in the day and for the adults in the night. So we're expanding HEART's capacity. So one of the things we have learned is that you can do 2 exams. You can do an exam in CXC for electrical and do a international exam as well. But what the exam does is to prove the person's capacity. You need a strategy to prove people's capacity. So you will still have to do an exam, and not all our children are going to be migrating. So while we want them to be globally competitive, CXC has been recognized by many foreign universities, etc. So we want to just carry it to a global acceptance more so than just moving away from CXC because there's another activity that is there. So at current, the opposition isn't thinking of doing away with CXC, but to add the options and to promote that you don't have to be dunce to do vocations. Vocation is after you have failed everything, we then start to say, go to, instead of saying that this is an opportunity. And with due respect to Favour Williams, she has said something that the public misunderstood and criticized her, unfortunately. She said, expose them to vocational jobs in primary school, not the vocational activity. I don't want them to be welding in primary school, I think, but what vocational jobs like welding can do so that they become interested in that early, as versus when him reach 11th grade, now it's a go hard because you have failed. So therefore we will push the vocational components. We will try to get international recognition for the current exams that we offer, and we will also incorporate overseas.
All right. We have another caller, Chris. Chris?
Morning, Cliff.
Morning.
Morning to you, Senator Crawford.
How you do, Chris? Respect.
Blessed man, give thanks. It's always good to hear you.
Love.
Very potent discussion, especially in your portfolio as spokesman on education.
Respect.
And you will not be upset with me if I say to you that I'm a little bit disturbed, because I love the ideas. I love what you're depositing here. But one of my biggest concern is, will you be challenged by your own party by midday tomorrow?
No.
We've had that in the past, where you come with brilliant ideas. But
no, fully authorized today. Okay,
good.
Yes.
Fully authorized.
No, in every cabinet there's a competition for resources, because in every society there's a competition. The person in health will say, yo, listen, I need 10,000 more. The person for roads. So every minister is going to say that they need more. So there'll be competition and there'll be quarreling. And I guess that's how we reach equilibrium. I believe we need $25 billion more to make education efficient. And if that comes our way, we can implement these things and transform it in the next 7 to 10 years.
Well, I'm happy you put a number to it, Damien, because you did so the last time you had that conversation re-education.
Yes.
And one of the things that Jamaicans are asking, and have always been asking, and one of the biggest challenges the opposition faces, is to identify where funding is going to be coming from. Because, look, we can have all the greatest ideas in the world.
Yes.
But I don't think the Jamaican people have the appetite today to go back into a situation where taxes are the only vehicle to gain funding for initiatives and programs.
Well, government programs are funded by taxes. That is the truth. However, the current taxes have created a certain budget, 1.3 trillion. And that 1.3 trillion have three components. The first of which is that each of us have to pay the salaries. The second each of us have to do is to pay the debt. And then there's a component that is based on the government in power discretion, their priorities. And so I think sometimes people are unfair to the opposition because it assumes that we'll take on all the current government priorities and then add our priorities onto it. But some of these priorities that they have are not things that we believe are the priorities of the society. So if we believe that within the 1.3 trillion, education should get $25 billion more, then it might mean that something else get 2 billion less and something else get 3 billion less. But the priority of our government is that.
You're proposing that, though, which I can't disagree with you on that. You're proposing that we need more funding. If my memory serves me right, I think the education gets the lion's share of the current budget. But if you're proposing that we need $25 billion more, the last time you have this substantive conversation on education, you proposed an increase in GCT. Are you still at that position? And if you're not at that position, what's your new position now?
Because I overstepped my boundary at that time because there's another person who's supposed to tell me how I'm going to get the money. That's Julian Robinson. So I'm stuck in with saying I need $25 billion more.
Have that conversation with Julian.
So we are, yeah man. So we have had the discussions and we have had the conversations. But I am not a one-man band. So when I go and say, oh, this is what education need, and then gone over into the finance person component now and said this is how we're going to do it, I would have overstepped at that time. So may accept that, you understand me? But what I'm saying at this point is that I have identified, and Cliff can tell you that I've also sent budgetary calculations for every single one of the things that we have discussed. Now, based on constraints, we might have to then change some by saying, okay, we only can do 99%. Maybe we have to ask for contribution for food. Maybe we have to ask people to adopt a child for their lunch. So the diaspora might be called in to say, all right, it's $500 a day. Would you adopt a child financially? So there's going to be other strategies when I get the full ministry to educate me with their expertise. Currently, I'm working off just reading 2 or 3 documents on the internet and my own knowledge and experience. But when you have the full suite of government behind you, you will then work out the totality in a much better way.
But you have to also recognize, Damien, that when you get the full suite of government behind you, what you're conceptualizing in your mind now might be totally different when you get there. Because the difficulty I have is that we can come up with all the great ideas, Cliff.
Yes.
But the truth is, I don't see us going back down the road where every time an initiative is to be implemented in Jamaica, there's a new tax to facilitate.
Yeah, I doubt that the public won't accept that. But I also put to you that generally the Ministry of Education don't have powerful ministers. And I have put in enough effort to be reasonably powerful within my political party.
Well, you have to be careful.
So we will fight for some money, understand? We will fight for my things.
but I like
poor anti-favor might can't fight them like that, you know what I mean?
Well, speaking of favor, Chris, listen to this person on YouTube, Damien. This person is Popper. Says, Damien, cross the floor and come take education ministry. I'm going to put favor of finance.
May I send off a secondment letter? Mark might give me a secondment letter.
One of the things that I've always heard out in the space is that the policies and ideas of Damien Crawford really doesn't fit well with the policies and ideas of the People's National Party. So a lot of times,
Michael Manley will disagree vehemently.
but
thank you.
You have to drill down for us, though, really and truly, because when I look at some of the things that you have proposed this morning, a lot of these things are being done, you know. And as a student, when my aunt took me from St. Elizabeth into St. Mary at Iona High School, I was a boarder.
Yes.
I understand how important boarding school was. It helped to shape your mind as a youngster. You had no room to really get caught up into gang relations and gang activities and all that good stuff. However, you have to now tell us, Damien, because you have deposited that idea some time ago, and you come back and reiterate it again about boarding schools solving the absenteeism in school.
Yes.
I want to hear from you. How is it that we are going to fund this? Because this is a huge undertaking.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And we have 15 minutes left, so I'll take
All
some
right.
of that time.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, man.
All right, Cliff.
Respect.
Good.
Thank you.
All right. Who is next on the line? Dwayne. We have to go bring you back, you know.
No
Seneca,
problem, man, because we want to have the conversation.
Yes, because we haven't gone to funding, as you have outlined
how to be,
yes, and how your formula and inputs, the cost plus
approach.
I found it. I was reading it at 4:00 this morning, and I found it fascinating.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you. Yes,
because the different elements, and it is something that we have not addressed.
No, we just each school get a money and
based on the number of students. But as you point out in that piece, a non-performing school should not be funded on that basis.
No, because it needs more intervention.
Absolutely.
Right.
So, and you identified a number of factors.
Yes.
Security.
Right.
The age of the plant.
Right.
Socializing.
Socialization.
The faculty.
Community violence level.
Yes. Which I thought, at least, as a person said to me who is listening, you're thinking about the real issues. The
I don't mean I'm right
issues.
at the first time.
It doesn't necessarily mean that.
Right.
Yeah?
But you have to engage the issues, engage the policies, and then say, I think this debate with someone, improve it, and go again. So that is a process that I'm thankful that you have allowed me to start.
And I would love if you would encourage more of your colleagues. It's easy to criticize and to exploit the discontent.
Yes.
It's more difficult to do what you are doing.
Maybe which is beat them, so that's why they know how comes up.
Let me not beat you.
No, don't be used to it, man. But no,
if you apply yourself, as you have obviously done.
Yes, sir.
When I read the papers this morning, you have thought about the real nitty-gritty issues. And several questions, as Chris says, funding,
right?
Capacity to deliver,
right?
Are issues. But the point is, you have started to say, listen, these are the problems that we have to confront.
Yes.
Let us begin
quickly.
Yes. Next caller on the line. Who is it? Dwayne for Crawford.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm all right.
Dean, good morning.
How are you doing, my brother?
Yes, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
When you came into politics, you see, people like me was like my antenna was up.
Respect.
All right, and knowing that you're bright and coming out and you have new ideas, and to make the thing seems to be moving innovatively. If I want to say that. Now you make a statement about some dirty labor right now to make the point. I'm saying to you, then I know that maybe you'd have apologized for saying so.
Yes.
But I recognize though, what is in politicians that when they go on the platform, that all that they learn in high school and everything with ethics. Because I want to say this to you quick before you answer.
Yes.
Somebody can go for an interview.
Yes.
One have 15 subjects. Brilliant. I one only have 3.
Yes.
But because of the work ethics, the one with the 3 gets better. And the company will work with the one with 3.
Yes.
Knowing that person have a better work ethic and get the job, and the one with the 15 don't get it because of the attitude and behavior.
I understand.
I'm saying our politicians need to think, especially when you know that your party is not doing well. You go and make a statement like that now will make you draw points because people look at you different.
Right.
And when you make the statement, you might have apologized, but why did you make a statement like that?
I don't know why I made that statement, but as you said, it was incorrect. And I have no negative towards JLPP. My uncle Ransford Braham is a senator for the Jamaica Labour Party, so but that speech came on the radio in totality because there were some of these nuggets in it about how we're living and why we were living. So I was incorrect, and so we can't go much further.
Just to say that, I'm not going to hold it against it, but I'm just saying.
Thank you.
Not only alone you make these speeches, right across the little bit of Jamaica, we keep politicians go and make some statement and then sorry about it.
Adrenaline, man. Adrenaline. When you go up on the stage and 40,000 people are midnight, sometimes adrenaline. And as you know, I'm going to write my speech then too, so that is one of the things I've been trying to.
Going forward, sir.
Yes.
Every Jamaican, the 3 million Jamaicans, both men, women, boy and girl, are important to you. And you don't mind if all of them vote for you.
Remember, 450,000 children, they're waiting on me to become the minister,
And as on the other side, both sides must recognize that we are looking on and we can see, and now we have all different kind of media to learn.
Yeah,
and we are not see that anymore, so we need to think before we talk.
Thank you, brother.
But anyway,
all right. Thank you, Dwayne. All right, we have several questions for you, Senator Crawford, so we have to arrange to bring you back here another morning. But here's one on YouTube. Lori B, I have a question. Why are remedial or special education students given the same exam as the others? Why is a grade 3 assessment and PEP not modified for them?
Well, the standard that you have set is that we would want our child to be at this standard. And so therefore the remedial child who don't reach a standard, that must be noted. And that they're not at the standard. The problem is that there is no real remediation after. So as I've explained with this current 33% mathematics, there was very limited intervention that changed the 44% PEP. So when you see that the child is not doing well, right? So for example, summer school isn't utilized effectively for remedial. In fact, most times the one who's interested go to summer school. There's no determination. You have to come and you have to come. And it's a real summer school with a real summer semester. We don't use the evenings for remedial. So therefore the cumulative nature, they fail others because they don't understand this one. So they fail 10 because they don't understand this one. So that is why we're saying we want to use the weekdays, we want to use weekends to do the instant remediation. For each area of the syllabus, you will be tested, analyzed, and remedial efforts for this part so that you can move on to the next part. Instead of at the end of the year, we don't know what to do because you have to move on without the capacity.
Here's another one. This is a consistent nationwide Cliff Hughes Online listener. Please ask Damien to explain how proximity and transport are the number one contributor to the performance gap.
To the absenteeism, but yes, that is yes. All right. So absenteeism is a number one contributor to the achievement gap because of the cumulative nature. And so children who, for example, live very far from school, they don't have the affordability component to get to school. Also, many of them within these rural spaces don't have infrastructure development. So even the lack of water, due to droughting situations, will cause for a child not to attend school. Him can't bathe this morning. Him don't attend school. The $1,500, $1,600 per day because of the distance. So he might take 3 buses or whatever. So therefore the mother can only afford 3 days. So those are the things that the distance to the secondary school have created that hindrance to continuously go to school every day.
Yeah. We're out of time.
No problem.
Tell us the last. I give you the last word.
No, well, I can be found online. If a person have any part of an idea, DM me or publicly, because we're really trying to find the solution. It is a search for solution. I have researched the things that I've said, and I believe that at this point I'm correct. But if I can be convinced that there's another method, there's another strategy or something left out. So I thank Cliff and Nationwide for giving me the opportunity to speak on some, because there's about another 5-6 papers that we haven't even touched.
Yes.
But that I will be very happy to engage anyone who wants to have a conversation.
We'll have to bring you back.
Thank you very much, and thanks for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
Respect.
All right. All right, that's how we're going to leave it for the morning session of Cliff Hughes Online. We're going to make way now for the world at noon. We'll be back with Honeybee and what's trending on the timeline.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock.
Furnitureland is Jamaica's premier furniture retailer when searching for stylish and elegant pieces this Christmas. Located at 112 Constant Spring Road, open Sundays until Christmas. The time by Furnitureland is
11:53.
But is this real? Hey Greg, come look at this. Oh my, it's happening. Mr. Daniels, the numbers keep getting bigger and bigger.
Sir, the clicks are off the charts.
Hello, sales? What's the emergency? 9,000 clicks in one day? 3,000 order? So how much we have left? What? I soon call you back. Mr. Nakamoto, it's Danny from Jamaica. I need 5,000 of the big ones. We're back in business.
Yes, sir. Arigato. Suene.
Amplify your brand. Let Nationwide 90 FM assist you in tapping into a captivated audience across our social media platforms. For more information, contact us at 876-630-1210 or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Businesses, companies, and entrepreneurs, let's supercharge your brand.
Are you ready for it?
Revo. Coming soon.
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Stay ahead of the curve with our cutting-edge reporting and accurate breaking news coverage.
We're having an earthquake. Oh, God.
Hear it here first on Nationwide 90 FM. Tune in, turn up the volume, and listen. We bring a mix of news, entertainment, and sports to your lives.
Nationwide 90 FM's live and continuous coverage of the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary.
News and discussions week mornings.
Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning.
Entertainment in the afternoons, then news again in the evenings.
Nationwide news at this hour, fired.
Also, tune in to the entertainment and sports shows in the nights and on the weekends.
It is Boy Things After Dark right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
Everything is news, from current affairs and entertainment to sports, business, and other categories.
Nationwide 90 FM. This is Beanie Man. Give it to them. Zaga, Zen.
From every whisper to every commotion.
That's rubbish. The KSAMC cannot investigate itself.
Every news story unfolds here first at Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Every sound is a story, and every story we share is news.
Ho, ho, ho! It's the spirit of Christmas and the end of another year. On behalf of the Affairs of the Heart team, we want to wish all our committed special sponsors, Supermed Pharmacy, Durex Condoms, ABC Electrical Sales, and Teeth Ethics Jamaica, a very Merry Christmas. Your invaluable support has meant the world to us, and together, we look forward to making 2025 an even more beautiful journey. To our dedicated listeners and YouTubers, what could we do without you every Tuesday night? We greatly appreciate your listenership and viewership, and together, we will share the stories in 2025. To our guests who make everything happen between 9 to 10:30 p.m., you bring the vibe and the vibrancy, and we owe you a debt of gratitude for your time and all the info you have shared. To all of you and the wider Jamaica and the world, Merry Christmas and a happy, productive, safe, and healthy 2025 from Affairs of the Heart, right here on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media.
Attention all data protection enthusiasts. Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM every Tuesday at 8:20 a.m. and Thursday at 8:25 a.m. for a new program, Data Protection Matters. Starting June 4, 2024, join us as we delve into crucial topics that will keep you informed and compliant. Data Protection Matters is hosted by Chuck Cameron, founder of Design Privacy, your trusted partner in data protection. Don't miss out. That's every Tuesday morning at 8:20 and every Thursday at 8:25 8:25 a.m. Stay protected, stay informed with Nationwide 90 FM and Design Privacy.
For this holiday season, live programming except for news bulletins and the Mayor's Parlor will end on Sunday, December 22, 2024. Starting Monday, December 23, we will bring you rebroadcasts of your favorite shows. During this time, you will hear our major newscasts at 6 a.m., 12 p.m., and 5 p.m. These news bulletins will be live. Our live programming will resume on Thursday, January 2, 2025. Happy holidays and all the best for the new year from your Nationwide family.
Come into the parlor, there's a welcome there for you.
Welcome to the Mayor's Parlor with Desmond McKenzie.
From 1 to 6 p.m. every Sunday, you'll now get more of your favorite vintage music.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Nationwide 90 FM will transform your Sunday into a musical time machine that will take you way back.
Come on, let's go back in time.
This magic moment.
Journey into yesteryear with Desmond McKenzie in the Mayor's Parlor.
I've got the music to jog your memory and make you smile.
Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the best in vintage music.
Come into the Mayor's Parlor every Sunday between 1 and 6 p.m. here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Clear your barrels and personal shipments with ease and convenience. Request a customs contactless clearance today through CCP at jca.gov.jm. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
news time, 12 o'clock.
It's credible and factual. The World at Noon on Nationwide 90 FM.
Good afternoon to you. I'm Dana Davey. Coming up in the World at Noon today, Monday, December 30, 2024, Works Minister says start of Spark program a day before the end of the year is a promise kept. Mid-morning fire raises 2 shops at Constant Spring Arcade. Firefighters are busy trying to mop up an oil spill stretching several miles along the North Coast Highway. In regional news, Trinidad and Tobago government says the state of public emergency is in response to gang warfare across the country. In international news, appeals court upholds $5 million award in sexual abuse verdict against President-elect Donald Trump. And in sports, Australia beat India by 184 runs in 4th test. The details after this.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
The Midday News is brought to you by Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
And now to the details. Work has officially begun under the government's much-touted Spark program. Speaking at the launch of the road work on Everest Drive, Harbourview, St. Andrew earlier on Monday, Minister with Responsibility for Works, Robert Morgan, says the project is a promise kept.
This road is a symbol of the government's commitment to the Spark program. You had committed at the launch of the Spark program to the signing of the contract with China Engineering that we will start Spark before the end of 2024. That's a commitment made and that's a commitment kept.
Minister Morgan says the road work will continue early next year.
It also symbolizes is what's going to happen next year, very early, the ramping up of the Spark program where roads will be picked simultaneously across every single parish, and we will be making sure that every single constituency has an opportunity to see the development. I want to also remind the public, sir, that this is a capital project. It's a project that is is funded by your tax dollars, government revenue, based on the fiscal management of the country, which has caused us to be able to spend $45 billion on your roads, your communities to alleviate your situation.
Robert Morgan, Minister with Responsibility for Works. A bar and a restaurant located at the Constant Spring Arcade in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew, were razed in a mid-morning fire on Monday. Commissioner of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, Stuart Beckford, says the fire may have been caused by an electrical short circuit.
Food shops were totally burnt out, to include the content, and a third shop received some level of damage to the roof. The owner of that shop, he was able to remove the contents from that building, so the contents were not affected. At this time, it is pretty early to say what the cause of the fire may have been, but what we do know is that where it occurs, there is an area there that they prepare meals, and so we are looking into that, whether or not it may have started from that, but we are also looking on the angle of electrical short circuit as well. So those are the two areas that we are looking in relation to a possible cause, but nothing has been determined yet. As the day progresses, we will continue to investigate. We are still on location, gathering information, speaking with the vendors who were at the location when the fire started.
4 units from the Halfway Tree Fire Station responded to the blaze.
So at approximately 9 this morning, we received a call of fire at the Constant Spring Arcade. We quickly dispatched the Halfway Tree unit, and of course, we turned out as part of our protocol in responding to facilities such as market, where we turned out more than 1 unit as long as those are available. And so we would have turned out 4 units to that location. Of course, they quickly mobilized and got into operation, and that fire has now been extinguished. Within a short time, they were able to bring the fire under control, to contain and bring it under control.
Stuart Beckford, Commissioner of the Jamaica Fire Brigade. The arcade has close to 300 shops. And firefighters from Falmouth are at this hour still working to clean up an oil spill stretching several miles along the North Coast Highway. Fire Commissioner Stuart Beckford says the spill extends from Cooper's Pen in Trelawney to the border of St. Anne.
At approximately 5:15 a.m. this morning, the Falmouth team received and responded to a call of oil spill along sections of the North Coast Highway. The spill stretches all the way from Cooper's Pen in Trelawney to the border of St. Anne. Now, that's approximately maybe about 8 kilometers of roadways that would have been affected. Some areas would have been impacted more than others, meaning there would have been more oil spilled in some sections or on some section of the roadways than others.
Firefighters, with assistance from municipal authorities, are covering the area with sand, soil, and other absorbent material.
We have been working with the municipal corporation and other agencies in relation to, and the police as well, to mitigate again the risk that this poses from motorists. What we have been doing is using absorbent materials such as soil and sand to cover most of the roadway. And there are spots along the roadways that we can wash, and we have done so, but in the main we have been using absorbent material.
Stuart Beckford, Commissioner for the Jamaica Fire Brigade. Meanwhile, Commissioner Beckford says the spill contributed to 2 motor vehicle crashes. 3 persons were treated for injuries.
Arising from this, there have been 2 motor vehicle crashes. Thankfully, there has been no fatality, but 3 persons were injured and had to seek medical attention. None of these injuries were life-threatening based on our observation, because our emergency medical technicians would have also been part of our operational activities there. We continue to cover as the morning progresses, and we are hoping to be able to complete that very soon. We have also working with the police to warn motorists to be careful when they are traversing that section of the North Coast, to proceed with extreme caution and to obey the firefighters. Whatever direction they may be given, that those be adhered to along with the police.
Stuart Beckford, Commissioner for the Jamaica Fire Brigade. Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris Dixon is urging parents to adopt practical solutions as they attempt to help their children reduce learning loss ahead of the start of the new school term in January.
During holidays, children experience learning losses. And what that is simply that they forget what they learned during the term. And so what I would say to parents, try to find some time for children to do some review of the work that they did during the term. It doesn't have to be a lot of time because they do need to have fun and relax and rest, but find some time to have them do review, whether it's half an hour a day or an hour a day, where they're actually looking over the notes or prepping in terms of some of the work that they'll do for the next term. It's important that we guard against learning losses. Holidays are a time to rest and have fun, but we also don't want our children to lose what they've learned. And so let's find a few moments to actually do some review and get some work in.
Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, Minister of Education. In regional news, the government of Trinidad and Tobago says the state of public emergency now in effect across the country is in response to worsening gang warfare. In the formal proclamation issued Monday morning, President Christine Kangaloo says the declaration is based on advice given by the police service to the National Security Council regarding heightened criminal activity. The move comes on the heels of a fatal shooting in front of a police station on Saturday and the killing of 5 men in an apartment on Sunday night. Acting Attorney General Stuart Young addressed a press conference on Monday.
All intelligence and the information provided to us by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is this was a reprisal shooting and that there can be expected heightened reprisal activities by the criminal elements in and around certain places in Trinidad and Tobago that immediately warranted and took us out of what we can consider the norm. So what we were faced with is a decision being provided with the information that there was going to be heightened criminal activity with the expected use of high-powered caliber, high-velocity assault weapons in reprisal attacks between gangs.
Young says the regulations governing the SOE are being drafted. Interestingly, he says there will be no restrictions on movement or public gatherings.
There is not going to be any curfew. That decision is because the targeting of this national public state of emergency is on those who engage in criminal activity with criminal intent of endangering the public safety through the use of these illegal firearms, both high velocity as well as illegal handguns and the other likes. Those are the persons who are being targeted by this state of emergency. So this state of emergency at this time will have no curfew. It will also not seek to affect public meetings, public gatherings, and public marches.
Stuart Young, Acting Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago has a population of just over 1.5 million. The country has recorded more than 600 murders since the start of the year. The police say the majority of the incidents have been gang-related. In international news, a federal appeals court on Monday upheld a New York jury's guilty verdict against President-elect Donald Trump in the E. Jean Carroll sex abuse and defamation case. In May, the jury found that Trump sexually abused E. Jean Carroll. It said there was not enough evidence to say he raped her. The panel of 6 men and 3 women also found that Trump injured the advice columnist in a Manhattan Bergdorf Goodman dressing room in 1996 and defamed her when he called her a liar. It ordered him to pay a total of $5 million in damages. Trump has called the case the greatest witch hunt of all time and slammed the verdict as a disgrace. In your midday sports report, Australia beat India by 184 runs in a thrilling conclusion to the 4th test in Melbourne to take a 2-1 lead going into the final match of the series today. India was set a target of 340 in 92 overs and batted cautiously throughout the innings with little ambition to chase an unlikely victory. But a sensational bowling performance saw Australia take the final 7 wickets for just 34 runs as India was bowled out for 155 in the final hour. The final scores were Australia 474 and 234, India 369 and 155. To recap our top stories making the world at noon, Works Minister says start of Spark program a day before the end of the year is a promise kept. In mid-morning, fire raises 2 shops at Constant Spring Arcade. Firefighters are busy trying to mop up an oil spill stretching several miles along the North Coast Highway. I'm Dana Davey. You can find the news on our website at nationwideradiojm.com and on the Nationwide app available on Google Play and the App Store. Major news next at 5 o'clock. Good afternoon.
The Midday News was brought to you by Total Tools. Every tool, every trade. Success powered by learning. The Time brought to you by Sandals Corporate University. Come grow with us is
13 minutes after 12.
Stop the sneeze. Grab some DPH.
I'm congested. DPH.
DPH. Mommy, I have a runny nose.
Come and take some DPH.
Getting rid of a cold or allergies is easy. Take DPH in adult or children's formulation and eliminate your sniffling, coughing, sneezing, and itching. DPH. Minimize the symptoms, maximize the relief. Another great product from the Caramed Group.
The Bureau of Standards Jamaica plays...
Are you ready for it?
Revo. Coming soon. This is a rebroadcast of Cliff Hughes Online from October 2, 2024.
Timeline with the stinger, Honey Bee.
Good afternoon. 24 minutes going up to 1 o'clock. Good afternoon, honey A.
Good afternoon, Cliff, and how are you?
I'm alright.
It's good to see you.
We missed you yesterday.
But you weren't on yesterday.
But I know you weren't here.
Wait, do you listen to my show?
Yes, I did.
What is not this?
And Nora had to deputize for you.
Oh, Nora stepped in. Thank you, Nora.
Yes.
All right.
And she did a very good job.
Of course, she always does.
Yes.
Very nice. And yesterday was Man and Woman Day, so I imagine. I can imagine. But I saw that you had my senator up in here today.
Your senator?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know you have a senator.
Yes, man. Oh. You know, we Taylorites, so we have to stick together, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Taylorites together.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm.
You were at university with him?
No, not at during his time, but when I moved to Taylor Hall, because I lived on Rex Nettleford first, which is interesting because, you know, Rhoda Moy Crawford, she lived on Rex Nettleford Hall. Mm-hmm. And I lived on Rex Nettleford Hall for a year, and then I moved to Taylor, right? So when I had Rhoda on the show, I was going on about Rex, and then when I had Damien on the show was going on about Taylor, but I spent most of my years on Taylor Hall, and when I moved to Taylor, he's one of the first people you learn about.
Oh?
Yeah.
He's notorious.
Yeah, man, a leader, you understand? Yeah, man, and I really liked his plan, his education plan, and
Yes,
for the
yes,
nutrition.
he's a thinker.
Mhm. Because he's talking about things that are so vital. And we've spoken about the female menstrual cycle before and how that affects you. You know what I mean? And getting the proper nutrition from in school, taking you to adulthood is so very important. We don't even understand just the implications of just being malnutrition in that way. How much it, the ripple effects, how much it affects you in life.
Yeah.
So I have to big him up for that. Definitely have to big him up for that.
I enjoyed the conversation.
Yes.
Morning, and we're going to have him back because I read about 4 different papers. He has written on several issues to do with education, the weaknesses, the failings of the system.
Yes.
And what struck me about all of them, one, they're what I call nitty-gritty issues where the tire hits the road, and you can see where he's applying his thoughts, to fixing, and that I really find.
Yeah, man, I admire it.
You have to admire it, but we shouldn't, because it should be natural.
Should be commonplace.
Commonplace.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it is not in the politics.
And as you were saying,
we have too few in the politics who are prepared to apply themselves to the real problems.
Yes.
Yeah, it's easy to get up and criticize and criticize and criticize. It's far more challenging to say what is the fix,
or to find microwavable fixes, because as you were saying to him, the sort of plan that he has is the sort of plan that will take years for you to truly start seeing the benefits, but that's what it takes for you to see real change. It's a sort of thing it's painstaking. It's not going to happen overnight,
right?
And you do need the sort of people in politics who have that drive, who believe in the thing that they are representing, or the ministry that they're in, and want to do the work. It's service.
It is, and I hope he continues.
Yes, me too.
To really apply himself to the challenges in education and in the wider country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, man, I told him to go all the way. I told him both of them. I like both of them, the Crawfords.
Oh yes, Rhoda and David. I just realized that they're both Crawfords.
Yes, so that's what I was saying to you too. And I told Rhoda and I told him, go all the way. I think it would be epic. I think for me, the passion that I feel from both of them and the interest that I see that they put into their work, for both of them at the helm, I think that would be great for the country, because then we would have, I think, a real decision to make between the parties.
Wow.
That would ignite me.
It's
and I can imagine a lot of, I know. It's a long game. It's a long game. But
true. Yeah. It's a long game.
Yes.
And the one who demonstrates greater fixity of purpose will prevail.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. Okay, let's dive into the timeline today. Now, I want to say congratulations to Arden High. Now, yesterday, 12-time title holders Arden High School walked away with the JCDC Marcus Garvey Awards for Excellence in Performing Arts. Now, Arden took home a cash award and the coveted Marcus Garvey Awards for Excellence in the Performing Arts trophy. The awards, which recognize outstanding individuals, schools, and other groups, was held at the Little Theatre. Here's a clip of one of yesterday's many performances. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Kelsey Spalding of Arden High with The Will, a one-woman production.
What could a man really have done to you for you to speak such ill of him and to make fun of the dead at that? You must be the mistress, I suppose. Yes, sir! Headmistress Mavis. And that man don't deserve a drop of tear from me. Not even from the wife, the lover, or the mistress. Says what wrong with that one over there, so? I wish I put up so much cowbell in. Come on now, girl. Lover? And I put on so much acting? Girl, you don't make it in the will. You not have to act no more, you know. Him don't write it in his mind, him heart, and him appendix. So put on the cowbell in. The acting not necessary. Can't you have a little compassion for a fellow woman? Sympathize with her. She's grieving over death. what has really happened to you? Listen, not all men are like the men you follow around with. My husband, he was a respectable man, and I'm sure her lover was a good man. And back to my husband. My man. Listen, man only respect money and please don't go there. I beg of you, do not go there. Listen, let us all just sit and wait for the lawyer to arrive.
We're gonna leave it. Just a snippet there. Very good performance by Kelsey Spalding. Listen, Cliff, I love the performing arts.
Yes.
And one thing you can't grow an art in when it comes to performing arts, you know.
Eh?
Oh my gosh, they always have some of the best, brightest, boldest students, you know.
Oh.
And in my day, I have had the luck of going up against some of these students and also performing with some of them in the Jamaica Youth Theatre.
Oh.
Yeah, man. And, you know, I will always promote the theatre as just being such a great space to express oneself and to instill a new discipline. Yeah, I think it's really good for young people.
It is.
Yeah, man.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, in our day, it wasn't Arden who was the
It was
lead.
Excelsior, was it?
We did very well. Excelsior was,
Yes.
was doing very well. Yeah, and then it would have been like a St. Hughes. Yeah, and a Queens.
I see.
Were up there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, congratulations to Arden High School, well deserved there. The Marcus Garvey Awards for Excellence in the Performing Arts. Right, moving on, Lauryn Hill breaks silence on Pras Michelle's shocking lawsuit. Now, Lauryn Hill has broken her silence on her bandmate Pras Michelle's lawsuit filed against her. For the unversed, Michelle filed a lawsuit against Hill in New York's federal court on Tuesday, accusing the singer of mismanaging the 2023 tour and leaving him empty-handed despite the shows being sold out. He also accused Hill of illicitly taking a 40% cut of the tour's proceeds off the top before splitting the rest. So this is Lauryn Hill and Pras Michelle. So he's a bandmate of hers, and they've been working together for years. Yeah, so he's suing her, saying that she took 40% cut of the tour's proceeds off the top before they even went on the road, and at the end of the day he was left empty-handed. Now, in her response, the 49-year-old singer released a lengthy statement terming all the claims as baseless and said that the lawsuit is full of false accusations and unwarranted attacks. In a statement, the singer stated, "It notably omits that he was advanced overpayment for the last tour and has failed to repay substantial loans extended by myself as an act of goodwill." So she's saying that he's been having some financial woes, that he needed about $3 million to help to cover his legal fees, and they forwarded him the cash, loaned it to him, and he's yet to repay any of that. And so it's unfortunate, and she was saying that she's been quiet about it because she was hoping that he would probably come to his senses, considering the long-standing relationship they've had over the years. But yeah, that's how it is. Now moving on to Rihanna. Boy, I have a big bone for pick with Rihanna, Cliff.
You always have a problem with
No, man, but me love Rihanna, but that one, me kind of know. Me feel away. I feel away. Now, Rihanna's Fenty Beauty coming to stores across the Caribbean, but Jamaica did not make the list.
No,
what? If you cut me, not see no blood right now. To all me vex, me never comment under the post. Now, Bayesian superstar and billionaire entrepreneur Rihanna announced on Tuesday that her widely popular Fenty Beauty line of products will be available at several stores across the Caribbean, including in her birth country of Barbados. Now, while many islanders were excited about the announcement, others questioned why more countries were not selected to be a part of the list, including good old Jamaica. Now, Jamaica was noticeably absent from the list of countries that will sell the products from the Bayesian icon's $1 million luxury skin and hair care line. Now, so far, only Barbados, Antigua, Bahamas, Aruba, Bermuda, Cayman, Trinidad and Tobago, Grenada, and St. Martin were announced as countries where the products will be available in stores. So you can imagine the comments.
Why not Jamaica?
That me want to know too. You understand?
No demand here for it?
Of course. There were so many. Listen, in the comment section was literally people talking about, so where's Jamaica? So people were like, Jamaica is the capital of the Caribbean. You're somebody. No, it's Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, please.
Because if I don't know, well, you do know that. I know a lot of it's business. And at the end of the day, I know that as much as Rihanna is the face of Fenty and it's her name and it's everything, she is part owner of her company. But still, I wasn't in the room. I wasn't privy to the discussions. I don't know what happened. Okay? I'm going to give her the benefit of a doubt. Well, not her. Let's just say the company. Let's take it off, And I believe that they're working. They're working as hard as they can to get to Jamaica. All right? Yeah. So we're waiting, guys. Don't make 2025 come.
Coming soon.
And it don't reach here. Yeah. Boy. Okay, moving on. Do we have time? We don't have a lot of time.
Can do another minute.
Okay, well, Sean Diddy Combs, faces more than 100 new assault allegations, all right? It's just piling on. More than 100 people are to sue rap musician Sean Diddy Combs for sexual assault, rape, and sexual exploitation, a U.S. lawyer has said. Now, Texas-based lawyer Tony Busby said that some of the alleged victims include minors who were abused when they were as young as 9 years old. This is an important matter that we intend to aggressively pursue, Mr. Busby told reporters. Now, Erica Wolf, a lawyer representing Mr. Combs, said the rapper emphatically and categorically denies the allegations, saying they are false and defamatory. Now, speaking at a news conference on Tuesday, Mr. Busby said he and his team will leave no stone unturned to find potentially liable parties in the alleged abuse or any individual or entity who participated in or benefited from this egregious behavior. So it just keeps getting worse for Diddy.
He's over.
But I ain't couldn't more done. I tell her.
It's done.
Gone right now. Yes.
Yeah. But these powerful men in the business of entertainment feel that they are invincible.
Yes.
And beyond the reach of the law.
And we are now seeing that is not the case. Yes. And let this be a warning. Fix up on the house.
All right. Thank you so much, Honeybee. Yeah. Good to have you back and good to be back here. We're going to make way now for Oasis with Loy Gale. But I want to say thanks to our producer, Norige Banton, our technical operator, Kevin Williams, and of course members of our YouTube platform, our tweets, and our WhatsAppers. Thank you all so much. Time now, Oasis with Loy Gale.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light, and I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock, like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock. And I stood arrow straight, unencumbered by the weight of all these hustlers and their schemes.
You've just heard Cliff Hughes Online on Nationwide 90 FM. Join Cliff Monday to Thursdays between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. for Cliff Hughes Online.
Like a rock. My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright.
That was a rebroadcast of Cliff Hughes Online from October 2, 2024.
Since 2016, 156,000 more Jamaicans are working. This is more than any other time in our history. Your government is caring for you. The time brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister is
12:32.
For this holiday season, live programming except for news bulletins and the Mayor's Parlor will end on Sunday, December 22, 2024. Starting Monday, December 23, we will bring you rebroadcast